Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. It's I. It's he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, I'm here. It's Righteous Reg. How you doing, bro?
Your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. Saturday morning, Righteous Reg, Media Man. I'm here. It's been a weird week, Philip Lindsey. That's
been a very long week. A lot going on. If you guys were watching last episode, I can feel myself getting sicker as the episode went on. I was supposed to go somewhere afterwards. I got in bed and proceeded to stay in bed for about 4 days. I was not doing well. And so, in the midst of everything else going on in the world, I was also not feeling well. I can also tell that I'm getting older because when you're a kid, you're like, oh man, I can't wait to be sick so I can be in bed, don't have to go to school. This put a lot of stuff that I needed to do this week on hold. It made my week a lot harder. And then you see, as you get older, it takes you a lot longer to get back on your feet than it did before. So it was pretty annoying in that aspect. But
I noticed that you weren't as active in anywhere this week. I was like, oh, Phil must really be down for the count because I don't see him active online and none of the group chats. Like, what's up with the homie? Recovery is as an old person. Brother.
I was gonna attempt to go to Dynamite, did not go, but I think I'm gonna go to Collision tonight and then probably gonna hit Dynamite tomorrow. Well, next week.
Back at it. It just takes a little longer to get back to it. Getting older. What a crazy concept that I'm not used to. Body parts and things and waking up and all the things are very wild out here. But happy to be here. Happy to be living. Happy to be here with the homies at Grapsody. Appreciate everybody joining us here today. Like we said, it's been a very long week here in the world. There's been all kinds of crazy news. It feels like every day, but I feel like that's just life at this point.
Yeah. Crazy times. I did, because I did go out last night. I did not stay home because I guess last night they were paying tribute to somebody, which we'll get into. So I did not stay home and watch SmackDown. I did go out, went to movies.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic Four was incredible. I feel like I've waited most of my life for them to get Galactus correct. It's not like a cloud in space. It's actually Galactus. It was awesome. Fantastic Four was probably the closest to the 4 people from the comic as we're going to get.
Wow.
It's a lot of fun.
I feel like Fantastic Four fans, specifically of the movie, have been waiting, like you said, our whole lives for them to get it right. They've tried multiple times throughout our life to replicate these characters and get them right, and it sounds like you're saying they finally did it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. On the way, I listened to Alfredo front to back. Alfredo 2 is out. If you did not check out the first Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist, really good album. Turns out these two are very good at making music because this album also very good.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Alchemist when he cooks with one artist, when they get together for a collab album, he's usually bats pretty high up there, knocks a lot of home runs out. This one, right again, the production on this album is it's cruising music. I was playing it yesterday while driving around and I was like, this is perfect for my day right now. Freddie Gibbs is so he's almost like, it's funny because he's from Indiana, but he almost has like Oakland swag in the way that he raps and the way that he like talks and the way that his whole thing. So it like really felt comfortable in the space that I was in. And his raps are tremendous throughout. He's sending disses on that thing. I'm like, ooh, brother, this guy, he's dissing some people that I like. He's dissing Benny, he's dissing Currency. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
Listen, the game is the game.
This and Gunna.
Gunna.
He threw some shots at Ack, which is no surprise because he's not liked Ack for some time. But to me, he always sounds like a Midwest artist because he's got that kind of flow where it's double time, kind of like Bone Thugs and Harmony. He also has a very similar voice to Crazy Bone as well.
He does.
So he sounds like a Midwest artist to me. But yeah, man, he's rapping on there. I don't think this guy gets enough credit for just how good he is with the actual bars. His flow over these beats is incredible. And like you said, the production is just amazing. Alchemist put his foot in this. The Tyler album is also very good. I didn't get a chance to listen all of it, but it definitely feels like Tyler trying to get into that aesthetic of hip hop music, the dance music. The entire rollout for this, I could see why he made this album because I initially was like, why is he putting out an album this close to Chromacopia? But Chromacopia was very heady. There was a lot of dense subject matter on there. And this one, it felt like I want to make some music for people to dance to. And yeah, he's got the records on it. This definitely feels like old school, fun hip hop music.
Yes. When I initially heard Stop Playing With Me, I was like, oh, okay, I see exactly what he's doing. Like his last album, he was wearing that mask. Like you're saying, there's a lot of dark tones, a lot of like dark messaging kind of surrounding it. So he was living in that space. He was on tour with that and probably was thinking, I need something to be jamming to. I can't have all these crazy kind of darker, depressive songs trying to present them on stage. So I need something to jam to. Let's do this old school record that I would have fun with as a kid. Every picture or video you've seen of Tyler in the last week is him dancing somewhere crazy, standing on top of something, just having a great time. I haven't heard the thing in full, but what I have heard of it, I love it. I think it's a fun album. I think it's Tyler has just done so many things. Like it just makes sense that he would make an album like this. People are like, well, why would he put an album out so close to that? I'm like, listen, sometimes they say artists take too long. It's funny because he's now in something's going on with him and Frank Ocean, and like Frank Ocean is the guy that they say Frank Ocean is the guy that they say that needs to put out more music, and they're always hassling him to do this. Like then when an artist puts out something fast, then he's doing it too quick. It's all these things. So it's like this whole thing is so funny. Great album. Tyler continues to be kind of groundbreaking and pressing of what an artist today should be doing, and it's really dope bars on that album too.
Yeah, I mean, you can see across it has that whole vibe of like old school hip hop. I mean, like the big chain that he has on, and like the hat and everything, the haircut he has in the video and everything. The video is hilarious. Him dancing while other people are just kind of standing around, being mugging. Like Bron is just standing there, like big 6'8", 200+ pound guy standing there, and he's just like dancing around them. Hilarious. Malice still looks like he's the most unhappy person to be outside.
Malice is like, I did not know we were going to be doing all this press. I didn't know we was going to be in all these videos. My brother loves it. He's out here having a great time, but I'm tired. They keep having me stand around. Hilarious in that whole video. The Bron stuff, Phil, this attached to this and attached to that, whatever that video is of him dancing to Not Like Us, and people are like, how dare you? I can't believe. I'm like, I wish these people would stop thinking these people are friends. Like, I think that's where we need to start. Like when Drake and Bron, they like, how could you do that to your friend? These people are not friends, you guys.
Well, apparently Drake really thought they were friends too, because he was not happy at all about anything.
But like, bro, what? Come on, man. This is the industry. What do you expect here?
Yeah. every time I see this guy outside dancing, and before I turn the music on, if it's just on mute and it's just him dancing, I always wonder what is he dancing to, because I'm like,
Yep.
nothing that's playing could be
It
that to
never
make you be
matches.
doing all of this. Like
Mhm.
and so when he was doing all of the dancing to Not Like Us, I was like, all right, dog.
Okay, all right.
I
see
just
it.
feel like a lot of times he just be dancing so hard and so extra to things. It's like, okay,
I felt like in those moments, it's like, look at me. I'm LeBron James. I'm over here. Look at me.
yeah,
And like you, of course, somebody's gonna film you. Look at you. You're acting wild. You're 6'8", with their hands in the air, which makes you like 7'5". So like, what do you expect, bro?
yeah. And Savannah is always just kind of chilling, like, and he's just always like all over the place. It's like,
Super
all
extra.
right, bro.
Super extra. Super extra. I just want to get out of LeBron James drama. Then they started connecting him to Yes Jules in some way, and I was like, keep us out the group chat. I think everybody.
Yeah, he's been in the midst of some conversations, because some people seem to think that this 30-plus-year-old ball player has never cheated on his wife, and um Drake has been kind of hinting that he has, and it's just kind of like, I don't really care. I'm of the assumption that he has. I don't know. I'm of the assumption that most ball players have cheated on their wives. I don't know.
If there's like, it's almost impossible. Like I can't think of a world where he's went this entire time and just been a nice, faithful man. It's possible.
In South Beach.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. Every time this comes up and people are like, he would never cheat on his wife, I was like, dude, this guy moved to South Beach and lived to South Beach for about a year before his wife came out there.
I mean, if he did, Morton, he can't. There's no way. He's on the road all the time. These guys are. That's what the comments are like. Every time he comes to Toronto, I'm like, all right, you guys, like, maybe you guys aren't the ones to say this. That's like, I don't know what. Anytime like the Drake Army goes after people and they're like, it's always so silly though, you know. It's never like, it's always for stuff like that, for allegations. It's like, this isn't the game that I love.
It was a lot of unnecessary stuff, but yeah, clearly Drake thought that this friendship was more than what it was, which is the theme to quite a few Drake things coming into this beef, that he thought certain people were really his friends. I mean, I still don't think he's quite got over the fact that he really thought that Ye was his friend, and Ye kind of snaked him, and he's been trashing this guy ever since, because he really liked this guy. He really idolized this guy. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh no, man's is a snake. Okay.
It's so funny because Drake will be like, I wrote all these songs for him. I'm like, you don't hear it? Like, you came in and like helped him, and he got to use your swag and progress his thing forward off of your back, and you're not even really getting credit for it because you're doing this ghostwriting stuff. Like,
yeah,
he did everything he wanted from you.
Yeah, he did. He's done that to quite a few people.
Again, he thought this was going to be different. You guys aren't friends, dude. This is business, doc. So get yours and move it how you want to. And move out of there.
Drake's been telling us for years now that no friends in this industry. All these other songs where no new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no new. Mm-hmm. So it's just yeah, he keeps learning the same lesson, that he don't have no real friends.
Maybe one day. No, not maybe one day. Also, shout out to, I listened to a little bit of the Benny the Butcher album, the track with him and Westside Gunn. Fire. One of the hardest verses of the year on that track. Benny the Butcher, still one of those guys. Of course, who, like we're talking about with the Alfredo album, they're now going to get into this stuff again. And I not really looking forward to that. But, you know, rap is rap.
Yeah. Famously, the story is that the the Benny entourage jumped Freddie Gibbs at a barbecue spot in Buffalo.
There's video.
He referenced it on Alfredo too. It was like, yeah, they jumped me, but homeboy ain't bust a grape. So yeah, he's still basically like, oh no, it's still up. With both of these guys. Also threw some shots at Jim Jones again. There was an altercation with him and Jim Jones at one point. Yeah, the Tyler thing with Freddie, sorry, not Freddie, but Frank
Mhm.
Ocean seems very strange because, of course, these guys have been linked for a long time.
Yeah.
Of course, through iFuture. I initially thought that IG was fake, and then when I
Mhm.
read it again, I was like, oh no! Like, I'm telling you, one of the best Tyler records has Frank Ocean on the hook.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler was cryptically tweeting a few days ago maybe about some feature or something. He's like, I did a feature, I was a part of something that with a friend, and I thought it was going to go somewhere, and it's been going crazy. I don't know if that was linked to the Frank Ocean thing, but then he came out and was like, don't say our names together anymore. We're not, me and Frank Ocean aren't anything. Odd Future is over. And like Odd Future's been over for a while, but he was like, this is official, like this is real. So like, damn, it's kind of hard because it, like, Earl Sweatshirt is, to me, like, when I think of rap, like that's my guy, and like he came from Odd Future, and like we talk about Tyler almost every episode now on this podcast, and like what Odd Future was and what it made. Frank Ocean himself is crazy, but I've seen this coming for a while, but I didn't think this particular relationship was gonna go down like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. He says in the IG post that it was a misunderstanding on his part.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it'll get sorted out eventually, but it sucks. Sucks to see.
Hate that. Hate this. It. Hope if it's business too, like, dude, come on.
Yeah, some money stuff, or I don't know.
Could be anything at this point though, because they haven't had like a super out loud relationship for a couple years now. So who knows? But like you're saying, they've made some great music together. They've broke bread. Like hopefully they can get this all figured out.
Yeah. When I think Tyler and Frank, I think the She record, and I'm like, that's one of Tyler's best records. And come on, man.
That like got him to the game almost. Like, come on, man. Like Frank and Tyler, y'all can come back together, tour. Like this could be a thing. Out of Frank Ocean, I don't really know what he's doing.
I don't think he's touring.
Probably not trying to do that.
He's made some phenomenal music, but I don't think he has any plan on touring anytime soon. Yeah, we had some pretty big deaths this week. Crazy to see. Rest in peace to the legend Chuck Mangione. He came out yesterday in the midst of the other big, humongous news. And as somebody that's been binge watching King of the Hill, it hit me kind of different. I was like, dang, not Chuck, man, not the legend. Every time I think of the Buckley's funeral scene and him playing the salute and then breaking into Feel So Good, it gives me every time. Hilarious. At every chance this guy finds a way to get into Feel So Good in the show. It's one of the greatest running gags from the entire show. And he does some voice acting on the show. Rest in peace to legend, man.
I had just saw that episode where they send Dale in to find the rat, but Chuck's loose in the store. Like that episode is so classic. I just saw that, and so that was fresh in my brain. And then that news came out, and it was in the midst of a couple of very prolific deaths, and it was like not another like legendary figure that's lasted in the game for so long and then kind of reinvented himself later in life. Like rest in peace to Chuck. It's unfortunate what's been happening this week.
Yeah, a lot of major deaths.
The 80s.
Yeah, condolences to his friends and family.
Of
course, also rest in peace to the legend Ozzy Osbourne. Black Sabbath was one of those influential bands in the freaking world. Like when you think of metal and the amount of songs that they've made that have been covered, and just Ozzy Osbourne's presence in pop culture, it's massive. Of course, like you just referenced the reality show, hilarious. Every time I think of Ozzy, I think of him him walking through the house yelling, "Who pooped?" Because he's got two kids. He's got two dogs in there, and like one that pooped on on the carpet. So he's walking around like, who pissed? Who pooped? Sharon.
Yeah, I got this. They brought my favorite clip back up from that. It's when he gets obsessed with Chipotle and he like starts eating 10 Chipotle burritos a day. Sharon's like, he can't go without eating a burrito. Like that's his whole life right now. So like every time he keeps walking around and he's like, Jack, you want a burrito? And Jack's like, I'm chill, Dad. And he's like, I'm going to Chipotle. You want a burrito? And I just always think of Jack, you want a burrito in my life. But beyond that, I've heard Ozzy Osbourne's music my entire life. Like I've been living in pro wrestling, so like if it's unlicensed music being used, you're probably going to hear Ozzy. Every wrestling show you go to, they play Ozzy Osbourne's music. Every band and musician that I've been inspired by or listened to in my entire life, Ozzy Osbourne has been the guy that they've said like he's been such an influential figure over rock music, over heavy metal music, that like beyond anything, I just know like of the music and like that he's inspired so many people and he's created such a crazy lane that never will be replicated, like the antics and things that he did. They talk about not flying today, like this guy, the bird thing on stage and like all the drugs and craziness he got into. He would have did one of those things and they would have been like, bro, I don't know what this is. We're sending you back. Don't come back over here with that crazy shit. But he got all kind of wild shit off and then went on to reinvent himself and with the reality show and all that. So crazy career, legendary life. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, legendary guy. As a famous old guy that got old and wore black shirts and track pants every day. He's already a legend. Trendsetter for a lot of people. Man, but what a career, what a life, man. The fact that he lasted that long is incredible. The fact that he had the lasting impact he had on people as well, just insane. Just like I said, multiple songs that have been constantly covered, constantly used in trailers, montages, like vignettes, you name it. Crazy Train, of course, War Pigs is used constantly. Of course, just so many big records. Again, such an influential sound, man. Rest in peace.
And the fact that he went not like the guy, but he kind of like, I mean, he did the show, his farewell show, very recently, and then going out right after that, kind of like the Warrior getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame and then like dying the next day. It was like he was like, I'm gonna do this one final thing, you guys, and then I'm out of here. I was watching clips from that final performance and like they got a performance and the crowd, and it looked insane, and all the collaborations, like insane that he got to do that before passing away. Going out on top essentially is probably every rock musician's dream. And yeah, like you're saying with the covers, that T-Pain video came up a lot this week, and the tweet of Ozzy saying this is the best cover of this song ever, just great.
Yeah, of course, Iron Man, of course. There is a popular version of Thanos getting his comeuppance where somebody took the original score from Endgame out and put Black Sabbath Iron Man over it. One of the greatest things ever. Like I said, absolute legend. What a career. What a life. What an incredibly crazy life.
Brother.
Yeah, shout out to Sharon. I mean, I don't know that guy would be where he was. He's said multiple times that she saved his life. And there's so many business ventures and things that he got into later on because of her. Condolences to her, family, and friends. Of course, Jack. When I think of Jack, I always think of Kelly making fun of him because they're like in the car and he's like McRib is back, and she's like, I've never heard Jack that happy in his entire life. He's like, McRib is back.
Shout out to that fan, man. They were one of the pioneers of reality television. And
What a funny show, man.
there's no like, I'm sure like Sharon probably physically saved his life at some times with how crazy he was with drugs and alcohol at one point. So legendary for her too. Like, he never would have did that reality show without Sharon. There's no way anybody would have convinced him in the world to do that besides Sharon. So
yeah, I mean, just the idea at one point of thinking of Ozzy Osbourne as a family man and that kind of show, so funny. But that period of MTV, man, and Osbourne's was a fixture on there, man. That completely changed reality TV for sure.
those were the times, brother. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Of course, rest in peace. Probably hit me the hardest out of all of this was Malcolm-Jamal Warner, absolute legend. Theo from the Cosby Show, Malcolm from Malcolm and Eddie. So many different things that he touched. I hate that sometimes people talk about him in a way like, oh, it's just Theo. He was so much more than Theo, man. He was a musician. He was a poet. He was a director. Some of the episodes that people post clips from Cosby Show were directed by this man.
Yep.
Just multiple things that he had his hands in, multi-talented, graceful, classy, just everything you would want out of somebody that got to the levels of superstardom that he got, to the levels of fame that he got. Because we see a lot of child actors, they have like troubled careers, but you never heard anything about Malcolm. You never heard anything negative about him. And everybody that talks about him in such a positive light. And I think that's just a testament to who he was as a man outside of everything that we know him of.
Yeah, rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. For guys like us, Phil, I was saying on Twitter, like, the first guy they compared the generation of Phil and I to was Malcolm. Like, they were like, these are, you guys are into that smart shit. You guys into these different things. Like, Theo was the guy that they say we were. That was the first quote unquote black nerd that like was in America's face, that kind of showed them that we weren't all gangbangers and killers and what they thought of us. You know what I mean? And so he became synonymous with that. He became synonymous with just like great black representation on TV and film and in life. And so, like you're saying, he's so much more than Theo. Like, he was such an indoor jazz musician, killer on the bass, great poet, humanitarian, and just like representation, like I was saying, for us in so many different avenues. Like, just seeing this guy for our entire lives front and center on TV is such a crazy thing. Like, we've had so many great laughs with his episodes of The Cosby Show and what he represented in that. Hearing this news the other day destroyed us, you guys. Like, our Grapsody group chat was like, we could not handle it. And the way that it happened and the relation to Shad Gaspar and how both those things and what both those guys represented and how they were it's just fucked me up, Phil.
Yeah, very sad. He was just on Melissa Ford's podcast talking about how he didn't think he was ever going to get married. He got married in secret around 2017, I believe. And you know, he talked about how he thought this was never something for him. He thought he never wanted kids, and how happily married he was, and how proud he was to be a parent and to be a girl dad, and to find out that he passed on a family vacation. I was like, that's just so cruel. It just seems so unfair. But yeah, and I mean, just like the story of his passing, and like, it just sounds horrible. Yeah, that what a very tragic way for him to go. At least, I mean, he was around loved ones, but just really, really sad, man. I mean, and what he represents to black people. I mean, he spoke up on so many black issues. I mean, not just being a part of probably one of the most popular and prolific black sitcoms of all time, but he used his platform to speak up on so many issues, was such a positive force in the world. And 54 is just way too young.
It's so unfortunate that that show has the black cloud of Bill Cosby attached to it, because it's such an important show, like beyond black for us and our generation and the generation before us. I think a lot of non-black people I saw this week were like, no, we all watched the Cosby Show, we love Theo, we love what he did in that. And so I think he touched so much more than even just us. It's crazy to see. I started watching Malcolm and Eddie again on one of the streaming platforms, and just like that was him, man. He was just he was so cool, man. Like they brought up a lot of like hip hop clips and things of him attached to that. And I was like, he was just always so cool every time you see him.
Yeah, I mean, attached to so many things. He just had this aura to him, man. Like, and I noticed that right away with a lot of people sharing their pictures with him. I'm like, he's
the coolest one in every picture.
He almost seemed like the most recognizable and brightest star standing next to all of these other celebrities and all of these other well-known people, man. It's like, oh, wait, that's Malcolm.
There's a picture of him and Will Smith, and I'm like, how do you look extra cool in a picture with Will Smith? Like, that is Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many things like that where he do cameos and show up other places, and it's like, wait, that's Malcolm. Like, like when he showed up on Fresh Prince, or when he showed up in like music videos. Of course, famously directed the New Edition video. He did a cameo in that. He had the cameo in the Michael Jackson video. He's on the cell phone the whole time. Just man, icon, absolute icon,
man.
Just very, very sad. But yeah, when you think of Cosby Show, a part of some of the funniest episodes, I've seen that clip over and over and over again of him when he comes home with his ear pierced. I think that is one of the funniest episodes. And they show the part where he's trying to avoid his dad seeing it. He's moving with him in unison. So funny. Of course, Gordon Gartrell, and just what that did to pop culture. People are still referencing Gordon Gartrell to this day. People are still wearing the Gordon Gartrell for Halloween and stuff. Yep. That's absolutely, to me, one of the funniest episodes of any sitcom ever.
Anthony Mackie rocked it on one of his appearances this week on late night television. Like, just what that comedic thing represented for so many people and kind of their discovery of comedy. Like, he was at the forefront of that for a lot of people, man. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable career, unbelievable life. Feels like at the end of it, he got what he wanted. So that's you know what I mean? Like, a wife and kids and the life he always kind of dreamed. He didn't know he wanted, but he kind of got that. Is amazing to think about.
Yeah, I mean, there are clips of him talking about his daughter all over the internet. He was so proud to be a dad. There's a clip of him. I think it's the most recent IG live he put out where he's talking about like find a way to, be a positive light in people's life, find a way to smile. And the whole time he's got like a flower in his ear that his daughter put in his ear. It's like, God, it's so sad, man.
How do you feel about this is their last video they ever did? I don't like, because there was a lot of that this week, Phil, and I'm like, I don't know if we need to see it so immediately, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as we find out that it happened, they're showing us the last, like, give us time to, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, I think it's a way to see it. I think some people can see it as opportunistic, but when these people pass, a lot of times, just out of habit, we start scouring the internet for all of these things about them and start reading more about them and start looking for more stuff about them. So I understand it. I understand why you would put out things like their last interview. Melissa Ford took a lot of heat for changing the name of the episode with him on it. And I mean, I understood it because, like I said, people are going to try and search these things out. I mean, the thing that I saw clipped the most on the timeline were clips from her podcast. And so I could totally understand her also going like, okay, well, if the internet's going to capitalize off my content, I also should be able to. And, I can it be seen as a bit ghoulish? Sure. But it wasn't that big of a deal to me. I
It
understood it.
was his final interview, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a Malcolm-Jamal interview and it's his last interview, you're gonna capitalize on it. It's just no getting around it.
Right. It's just all feels so. But yeah, like you're saying, I think I hear what you're saying of like when somebody passes, you just want to kind of get into the things, remember them, and you're seeing their last video, you're like, oh, like I want. Some people are like, no, just like see, this is the lasting image. This is what he was on before the stuff happened, and just I understand you're that way of mourning and wanting to address it that way.
Yeah, but people mourn differently, and people's death brings out different emotions in people.
Yeah.
And so you gotta be touchy with some of these things. I understand that part about it. But yeah, condolences to his family and friends, his wife, his daughter, so many people that are not in the light. I mean, that was another big thing about it. He made sure to keep his family life very private. And I'm glad that people have respected his wishes in death. We haven't seen any crazy stuff being posted. Condolences to his mother. Our friend, co-host of the show, talked about his mother working with his brother in his career and the relationship they had. So yeah, it's got to be really tough, man.
Yeah, I was thinking of someone that's been in the spotlight legit their entire lives, like being a child star and till now, that would make sense that he wanted to be like, no, let me keep this whole thing private. I've had so much of my life not be private my entire life that I would want to move this way. And I'm happy that people are respecting his wishes upon this too, because it's hard to keep anybody out of that. And if anybody would know about being in every camera and every spotlight, he would.
Yes. I mean, the time period that he came to fame in and the amount of time that he stayed famous. Yeah, I totally understand it. The women that he was linked to and some of the stories around it that he's had to, not really correct, but say that's not what happened here. I'm not going to get into it. But again, that's just class act, man. Never threw anybody under the bus. Never saw him be anything but gracious. Even when people were on his neck recently about how he didn't like certain rap because they had curse in it. I mean, I didn't really agree with him, but he made his point so well and he spoke so well. It's like, well, I mean, I don't agree with him, but this is opinion.
He did articulate it pretty. I was like, you know what? I hear you. Like, I'm not with you, but I totally hear you. And someone that, like we've been talking about, he was around for all the great moments of hip hop. Like, he's been there almost from the inception, like being on screen and being a part, being down with the rappers. So, like, he has a fight, an opinion in this. So it made a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, still having a hard time processing it, man. Like every time I saw his picture on something, I was like, I just can't believe this, man. I just can't believe it. Just what he represents to Black people, what he represents to people all over the world. I saw some people saying that he was like the whole world's big brother, and he did kind of feel like that. And I mean, to a certain generation, he was, what people saw in a son.
Yeah,
and a friend and so many other things. And so yeah, what a blessing to have such a positive impact on the world, man, and people have such glowing things to say about you in death.
Yeah, so many of the memorials are people being like, this guy was that either a big brother to me, a best friend, all the things. Like, he just represented so much for Black culture, and people, like I said, our generation before and after, all kind of were touched by him. And so he left that lasting legacy, and we're going to remember him for being a great man.
Yes. Takes us to our last death of the week, probably the biggest in this circle that we're in as wrestling podcasters, but also, massive icon as well. Hulk Hogan passed away at 71 years old. It's still, even just saying it out loud, I'm like, man, Hulk Hogan is gone. And when you just think of his presence, not just in wrestling, but in pop culture, massive. I mean, a lot of the people that we see from WWE that become a wrestler and then try to chase that crossover movie or become a movie star. He did that. He did that before anybody. He made that lane possible.
Yeah, this like the same thing I said about Malcolm. Like I saw Hogan like from birth. Like I've been seeing this guy on TV. He had the cartoon. He had all the crossover stuff. Like the earliest wrestling memories that I have are like Hulk Hogan being Hulk Hogan. Like, so when people kind of been talking this week about what he did for the business, like I totally understand it. Like it was put on mainstream, it was put on MTV, it was put on Saturday Night Live, it was put on Saturday Night's Main Event, it was put in front of all of these avenues that it hadn't been before. And at the front of that every single time was Hulk Hogan. I remember going for so many years in my life, Phil, in school and life, and I'd be like, oh, I like wrestling, and they'd always be like Hulk Hogan. Like that was for so long, that what like Hulk Hogan was the sentence that followed that statement every single time for years, 20 plus years. That was the thing. So like he's so synonymously attached to what pro wrestling is and what sports entertainment represents on the mainstream level. Like it's like you're saying Hulk Hogan passed away is kind of crazy because I've been watching this guy on my TV my whole life.
Yeah. Objectively, one of the biggest stars in the history of this business.
Yeah.
Objectively did more for the professional wrestling business than anybody. But it is impossible to talk about him and his legacy without the last few years and the real life stuff attached to him. It's tough because when I saw this, I did not feel the way I felt about some of the other people we've talked about. And that's, of course, for obvious reasons. And I didn't have the best thing to say about it. And so I just didn't say anything. I just was like, well, Hulk Hogan passed away. Is that I don't want to get on and, dance on this guy's grave or celebrate or none of that. I don't really do that. I don't have any interest in doing that. I understand people that do feel that way because there's so many negative emotions and so many negative things attached to this guy. And that's kind of the interesting thing about wrestling in general, because wrestling has a very sordid history with race throughout the wrestling business. I mean, whether that be representation of Black wrestlers, the way that it was marketed to Black people for some time. We're in a different time period for that. And I think some people, if you grew up in this era, you might not understand that. You might not understand just the business of racism and how racism was used in a way in wrestling, particularly as a marketing tool and as a storytelling device. And so that in itself is just tough to reconcile, this thing that we both cover and we both love, but it also has this very sordid connection to race. And Hulk Hogan, same thing. Race is always going to be a part of his legacy now because of the leaked footage that came out in 2018 and what that did to his career, how that affected people afterwards. If the footage had just came out, I say this all the time, if the footage had just came out and he came out afterwards and apologized, it would be a completely different story. Because the footage in itself was terrible. And I understand people, including Hulk, that are like, okay, you shouldn't be judged by your worst things being said privately because it was a private conversation. But at the same time, once something like that comes out and then you try to throw lip service over it and never truly apologize, you then start to look away. It's not just what you said here, it's how you've handled the situation continuously since it happened. And I mean, that goes with his initial apology on ABC when he said something to the degree of course, a paraphrasing of, I really shouldn't have said that, but people have to understand where you grow up, and I was just like, all right. And then he gave another apology that after that one, because of course that one did not go over well. Then there's famously the meeting that he had with the black talent that has been reported multiple times, and how the black talent that were in the room came away offended because it didn't feel like a real apology. Again, it felt like, oh, well, just don't get caught, or don't let yourself get filmed, brother. And that in itself, like I said, it's hard to get past not just what he said, but how he handled everything from then on. And then the public facing image of him from then on. Shout out to Shoemaker from The Ringer, one of the best writers in this space, one of the best historians in this space. He did a very good piece on him for The Ringer. And one of the things he said in there that made a ton of sense is just like, there's two eras of Hulk. There's just the era in the 80s where he became one of the biggest celebrities in the world. I mean, Rocky 3, Thunder Lips, the whole run with WWE. And then there's getting into the 90s and getting into when the internet can see past the veneer of this like big, larger than life character from the 80s. I mean, probably one of the biggest representations of the 80s that there is Hulk Hogan. But you get into like the 90s and the internet era, and how the internet can now, pick at certain things you said and find the lie in it. And of course, one of the ever prevailing things in wrestling circles is not going to work for me, brother. And how that was attached to him for so long, and how a part of his legacy started to go downhill with the internet, because you start to learn more about the man behind the character.
I've had such a complicated relationship with Mr. Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea himself, for so long. It all started WrestleMania 9. He came out to save Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And then he won the WWF championship. And I was like, that's the first side I ever had. I was like, something about that didn't feel right. I don't know. I'm a 7-year-old child or something. I'm young. I don't know. Something about this didn't feel good. And so that was fine. He went on to do the NWO, and I was like, all right. But then he started wilding the WCW stuff, and then like all this wild stuff. It's so funny because I started reading a little bit of his on Reddit. They had his contract, his 1998 contract that he made for WCW, or that he created with them. And reading some of that and seeing how people talk about today's talent, I'm like, there's not even the lingo and some of that contract of like, it'll be like, he has to be featured on this, he's going to be featured on this many pay-per-views, 6 pay-per-views a year were the thing. And they were like, he has to be the featured wrestler on every one of the pay-per-views that he's on. I'm like, you guys be talking about like Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch and fucking Mercedes. Like their lingo's not the same as this. It's a different type of guy that existed here. And so I had this complicated relationship with him as a wrestling character for so long that I was just like, I haven't been a fan of him for my entire life. And then this stuff came out of the behind the scenes stuff and this tape of him talking about us. And like, it's so hard, Phil, because in this tape, he's saying the worst people in the world are Reg and Phil. Like that, the tape is the worst type of person you could ever be is a black man in America. And he's talking about us. So like trying to come back from this guy saying the worst human being you could be, the worst thing that you could be reincarnated as is you, has been very difficult to do. So like I've done a full podcast where I went absolutely ham on this guy. 99% of this stuff, if you Google Righteous Reg, and his name is the worst thing you could ever probably say about a human, just because you said what you said about me. So like I feel like the feeling was the same. So like he passed away the other day, and like I didn't have like fuck emotions. I was like, damn, that's the game is the game, because like I feel like you feel like that's like if I died, that's how you would have felt about me. Those are just the emotions that initially came out of me. And so these things start pouring in and tributes, and you kind of remember the spaces that you were in, and like I don't wish death upon any man. Like nothing is worth that. Like this Hulk Hogan being an awful human being and talking crazy is not enough for me to wish death upon a man, and I would never celebrate that, because that's just nothing. It's not worth that to do that. That's just like too much. And so you just like think about like there is a big part of the reason that I'm sitting here right now is because of the contributions that Hulk Hogan made. Like I said, the earliest memory I have, I could remember sitting on a couch as like a fucking toddler and watching a TV and it being this fool doing a promo and doing his thing, and not even a wrestling match, just doing that and being like, what is this? Like he's like a part of like the reason that I'm here. So I could never take that away from the wrestling character. The man, like that's another story for another day, but we don't really have to get in that. We kind of did get into that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm like, it's very complicated. I totally understand people in the industry that are celebrating this guy.
Yep.
Because what he represents to the wrestling business, the careers he's probably affected, the amount of people that probably started wrestling or got into wrestling because of him, it's immeasurable.
Yeah.
And I mean, so when you see wrestlers that are saying great things about him, and I see people that are getting upset with them, it's like, well, what do you expect them to do? This thing that they do for a living was forever impacted by Hulk Hogan. Yeah. And even people that had personal relationships with him, I can't speak to anybody's personal experiences with them. Like if you had great experiences with them, of course you're going to feel differently because you know this person. And that's why famously I say on this podcast all the time, you don't know this guy, but if you know this guy personally, I can see how this is going to touch you differently. And so I understand that. I don't really get people doing this witch hunt of trying to find anybody that's mourning him or has good things to say about him and being upset about with them because you're upset. Like you can't expect everybody to feel the way that you do, or as Black people, we know this very well. You can't expect everybody to understand and be able to properly prioritize conversations around race the way that we do, and to be upset in a way that we are. Like I just can't expect everybody to feel the same way that we're going to feel about it. And especially because
a couple of Black wrestlers that gave it up to him, and I'm not mad at them.
Yeah, that's their personal feelings about it. And that's that. I personally, like I said, can't get past certain things that he said, certain things that he did. Again, if it was just the things he said in the leaked audio, sure, but then other things came out, like the spokeswoman for his beard that got fired recently, and I mean, you spending the lasting image that you have in the last year is you helping a racist piece of trash get elected. It's just so many things after the fact that footage was put out that made it worse. And it's not just that. It's like, I mean, what you referenced earlier, there's a whole other part of him that's seen as a liar or a guy that, was a massive narcissist. And I mean, the fact that people attach his name to people in a negative light, like Becky Hogan or Sasha Hogan, I mean, that's part of his legacy. It's hard to look past some of that stuff and just be like, well, Hulk Hogan, the man. And I mean, it's tough because this is wrestling and these people play characters, and then they're also who they actually are in real life. And I think separating the Hulk Hogan that became this big massive star in the 80s all the way up to the 90s and even into the 2000s had big moments, it was constantly present in pop culture. And the things you would hear about this guy as a person, it's hard to separate those two things. And I don't know, for me, like I said, I don't have the best thing to say or about it, but I'm not gonna, I don't feel the need to run this guy down like that, because I mean, it's out there. I mean, his last time on wrestling television, he got booed out of the building. And I think that says a lot about where his legacy got, and the fact that he was confused by it kind of tells you about everything you need to know at this point as well. He did not seem to understand at that point, for the level of stardom he had reached, that you also have to be accountable. And I mean, like I said, because race in wrestling is such a touchy subject, there didn't used to be a lot of things like this. Like two black guys talking about wrestling and people would sit and listen to us. There didn't used to be a lot of black voices in this space. And I understand what Hulk Hogan represents for a lot of people who started watching wrestling at a certain time period. And a lot of those people look like us. A lot of those people were black. But I think that's also why it hurt so many people when he said certain things and didn't really give the apology that people wanted to hear. Because I think people also make this out, and I've seen this multiple times, like, well, he apologized. Why won't people just move on? I think people wanted to forgive Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan was such a big part of people's lives. And I think people would have. But he kept doing things to compound it, and that didn't really help matters.
Like, because I feel like as a black Hulkamaniac, you never got a full apology. Like, if you're like a black fan of this guy, you never felt like he came to you on a grand level and was like, you guys, I'm sorry. I know this video was crazy. These are the reasons why. No, he was like, hey, don't get recorded, brother. Like at every moment, he was like, hey, man, just don't let him catch you. And it's like that. Don't let him catch you wasn't really the message we wanted out of that. Yeah, that's what I felt like too the whole time. Felt like most people were just kind of waiting for an apology, waiting for this guy to be like, sorry, brother, but he never came and did that. So, and then like you said, like Donald Trump paid tribute to this guy on his thing, and it's like, I can't. He said he's MAGA all the way, and I'm like, oh,
but that's what I'm saying. There's so many things that are too close to the vest. It's like, man, it's there are people that are really hurting and suffering because of this guy getting reelected and this guy coming out and not only helping him get reelected, but then passing. And this guy's like, yep, MAGA all the way. He was always on my side. It's just, again, it's a part of his legacy that won't matter to some people. But it's hard to tell everybody that should matter to you because what he meant to wrestling, and he's not here anymore. That's okay for some people. Some people can separate the two and it doesn't matter to them, but it also isn't wrong to very much feel like I don't have great things to say about this guy, and this guy kind of like shitting on us, so why should I celebrate him?
That's the lasting impression I wanted to come out with this week, because a lot of people were like, yeah, Reg, but wrestling wouldn't be how it would if blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's okay that he did that, but he blah, blah. I'm like, you guys, I would like everyone to know that being a black man is first in my life over a wrestling fan. So like black man and what he said about me and what he said about my people's gonna trump any moment, gonna trump the NWO, gonna trump Saturday Night's Main Event, gonna trump slamming Andre the Giant, gonna trump any fucking wrestling moment ever, because that's my life. So I'm never gonna be like, well, he did have a big giant rating one time and go like that's never gonna prioritize over me being a black man. And I just want people to know that, because there was a lot of people with that, yeah, but, and I'm like, there is no yeah, but in this moment. Like I wasn't there like trying to kick us back in and do all this dance on this stuff, but these are the reasons that people that are doing that are.
Yeah, that's just for some people. It's going to be hard to separate the two. It's just what it is. And I also understand people that want to celebrate his life and what he meant to you, what he meant to wrestling. But I also understand people that don't want to, and that also want to take this time to be as negative as possible. It's not something I really have any interest in doing, but when people are hurt in the way that they are, because again, there wasn't a lot of black voices in this space, and at some point people acted like wrestling wasn't for black people, and there weren't a lot of black fans. I mean, for me personally, I've never known wrestling to not have a lot of black fans, but to try to find a place in this fandom, and then like one of the biggest, if not the biggest stars in this thing, say something like that on leaked audio, it just feels horrible as a fan of wrestling that's black, and it's hard to not be upset at that, and it's hard to not be deeply disappointed in that. And I know some people again are like, well, why should that matter? If you're not black, you're not gonna understand.
That's it.
You're just not gonna understand, and it's
the
fine.
main point. Because there was a lot of people that weren't black that were fighting me on this, and I was like, "There's nothing I could ever do to explain why this is a thing to you." I'm not. I don't want to be that person, but that's just how it is. Like, there isn't a like. I can't, as a black man, compromise. That's like. I wish I had the privilege to be like, it's just fucking wrestling, but it's not. Like, I can't. That's not how this works.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of black fans want to be accepted in space. They want to see themselves reflected back in the space, and we have seen that. But again, to have biggest stars in this space also be racist, and then outright call himself, "Well, I'm racist." Sure, everybody's racist, and then like make excuses for it. Doesn't feel good. It does not feel good at all.
It never felt good. It was always, like I said, I wasn't a fan of this guy for a long time, but even then I was still like, well, it's Hogan. He's the reason for all of this. If he would have came out and be like, you guys, sorry, brother, blah, 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 those things would have changed. But no, till the end, he was riding out for this guy and selling his beer. I was like, all right. So it's like, it's hard to get out of that space. That's it. That's all.
Buddy, I'm giving you a few minutes, man. You get your shit off. I'm trying not to kick you out of our chat. Let's keep it civil.
You're never gonna be here.
Let's keep it cute. Let's keep it cute. Like I said, I again understand how people feel about the guy. I understand what he represents to the business, but I also understand that this guy's legacy is very complicated. He's a very problematic guy, and you just can't expect everybody to feel the way that you do about him or really anything. I mean, that's just how life is.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel the way that you feel, good. Nobody's telling you not to. That's it. We're saying for this is how we feel, and this is how we're processing these things.
Yeah,
brother.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know a good way to put a bow on that.
Me neither.
Because it's again very complicated subject. He's gonna. I know, like I said, just how massive this guy is. I mean, there are people that I know that don't watch wrestling at all, that have never watched wrestling, that know who Hulk Hogan is. And that speaks to just how big of a star he is, and what he represents to people. But yeah, also very tarnished legacy as well. It's just that's part of being a celebrity in general, just like the rise and fall of these people, and like the level of stardom they could get up to, and like what their downfall is. He's got one of the most fascinating falls from grace that we've ever seen. I mean, for the fact that he was at one point taken out of Hall of Fame and taken out of all of these things, and then reinstated with no real explanation as to why that happened, just tells you how complicated this is.
It's been complicated all throughout. He's had such a polarizing, crazy relationship with this business, but like next events, it's like the craziest story of pro wrestling. And so, yeah, like you said, there's people that have never seen wrestling in their life that know who this guy is. So he's always going to have that lasting impact. And again, if you feel how you feel, good for you. We're not trying to change that.
Absolutely. I don't know. I would say that in all of the depth that we saw this week, and I'm getting older, I just continue to think, like, what is the impact that you have on the world? What is the impact that you have on people? All of the people that we talked about here had a huge impact on people, had a huge impact on the world. But like what we said with Malcolm-Jamal Warner, what a blessing to be able to have such a positive impact on people and to have so many great people have such great things to say about you when you're not here. I think most people would hope to have that. I think it's a shame for the amount of good that Hulk Hogan did for this business that we're not being able to celebrate him the way that he should be celebrated. And I'll just leave it at that.
Great way to end. I think for Hogan and Ozzy, they had some troubled things in their past. A lot of people would figure as cancelable, but there's a generation and a legion of people that don't care about any of that and are going to praise their guys and going to praise those lives, and that's okay.
Absolutely. Send us your super chats. That is the best way to get your chat read on this podcast. Please try to keep them civil, people. I trust most of our listeners to be civil, but please don't be weird. Send your super chats. You can also send us humper chats, humperchats.com/fight.
We'll see. Of course, we always appreciate super chats, humper chats. We appreciate you guys contributing to this, and we'll see how this goes. The homie Grapple Geekery says, I was never a fan of Hogan. He was my least favorite part of the NWO. His Warrior feud ruined the only War Games I saw live. The fingered poke of doom made me stop watching WCW. I'll never forgive Toronto for the double turn.
Yeah. I mean, this came up this came up with the Cena heel turn and people trying to rewrite history. I mean, Hulk turning heel is still the greatest heel turn of all time. Like objectively, it is.
Yeah, as someone who lived it at the time and remember listening to the pay-per-view on Scramble Vision and going to school the next day, everybody being crazy and the whole world being like, oh my God, I can't believe Hogan did that. That's still number one across the board. And there's a couple of things that he did that like you can never replicate. So we can't take away, but then there's people that feel like Grapple Geekery that like some people started watching at a time where all the stuff that they see of this guy is, I'm not saying Grapple Geekery, I'm just saying in general, some people that all they see is negative stuff and negative stories and being a part of negative angles and stuff like that. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But then even in that, he said he'll never forgive Toronto. People say that's the greatest match of all time. Like Cody Rhodes is like The Rock and Hogan is the greatest match he's ever seen. So it's like, what part of the spectrum do you exist on?
Yeah.
Appreciate that guy, Grapple Geekery, who also says, I have no nostalgia for the wrestler and currently none for the person. I do feel terrible for Brooke, though. She seems like good people, truly.
Yeah, some of the stuff that she said recently on her IG about being estranged from her family, it seemed very sad. I'm sure she's struggling with certain things as well. Condolences to her, of course. Again, I don't ever want to just celebrate somebody's death because these people have people in their lives, whether it be wives or family and friends that really care about them outside of any of this other stuff.
Like Brooke Hogan lost her dad the other day, and that's truly unfortunate. She maybe thought she could rekindle this relationship. She doesn't know what was going to go on there. Like, that's crazy. And like, how does Jimmy Hart feel? This guy spent the better part of 30 years next to this guy every single day. Like, what's he going through? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people attached to this guy that it's like, you know. No, for reals though, Jimmy Hart, like every time I've seen him for the last 30 years, he's been next to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Grapple Geekery. Twan Man says, yo, KO round 2. I don't know. Did you listen to the Joyner Lucas Skepta Part 2 disc?
I did. Joyner's an acquired taste, man. The guy can really rap, but it's just so funny, man, that he's attached to so many gimmicks, like that video that came out at one point. And but nah, he's definitely winning this battle. I don't think it's close.
What a perfect way to describe him, though. An acquired taste. Like, I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way to say it. He's just an acquired taste. Like, if you like him, you love him. But it, like, I want to so bad. I want to so bad. Feel like everything in me's like, come on, dude. But like everything else is like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
But yes, so far, he's getting Skepta out of here. But like nobody's surprised about that.
Yeah, I mean the guy can rap.
Yeah.
I think his talent shouldn't be up for discussion, but you know, I can understand why his music and certain things he doesn't appeal to you.
When he did that, the Racist Man song going back and forth, I was like, you know what?
I hate that video is gonna be linked to him for the rest of his career.
Well,
and some people love that video, man.
I know. Like, no, people they're at his show, like play that song, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
But yeah, appreciate that time, man.
Oh man.
Appreciate that, Tom, man. The homie Tenruza says, love you too. Love to you, Phil. Rest well. You too, the legend Reg. Yeah, we just need to, as older guys, get rest. That's it. That's all. We just need more. Sometimes we just be going, man. Like I don't eat, like when I take time to think about like the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months, I'm like, man, we do need to just take time to slow down, maybe get some rest and think about what we've been through, because we be going sometimes without even thinking about anything, and that wears on the body.
Yeah.
Heavy. Appreciate that, Tenruza. The homie Deontay Soignier says, hey, my dudes, wild 2 weeks. Grandpa passed away 3 weeks ago, but I got to see Hangman win the title and spend time with my girl during All-In weekend. Wanted to wish all love to y'all and good vibes. Blessed to be here with y'all.
Man, sorry to hear that. Rest in peace to your papa. Hopefully your family and everyone is doing well. Deontay sent me a DM while something was happening the other day, and I was dying laughing at it. It was very funny to me. And I think certain people thought, like, usually when I'm saying certain things on the timeline, I was actually upset, and I actually thought it was really funny. I thought it was very, very funny.
Appreciate you, Deontay. Love to you and your families. Probably pretty heavy times right there. So I hope that you guys are finding peace. I hope that you guys are moving through this. I'm glad you got to enjoy All-In weekend. It was a great time for us too. Happy to see it again. Appreciate you being here with us on your Saturday. The homie T-Rav says, Freddie album is incredible. Why did my guy Currency catch a stray though? He just be chilling.
Yeah, he was getting them shots off.
I think it's just that energy in the air. It's like Gibbs has kind of been known for throwing shots. Like he don't care. Like if he feels a way about a rapper, he'll let it be known. But now that it's like that's the game, he's like, all right, that's the game. Like I'm throwing shots at everybody. Like he threw shots at like 5 or 6 rappers. Like usually, like you try to do it just for one, because you know, like what if they all 6 of them come back at you? That's gonna be crazy. I was just thinking about the Jid feature on the Freddie Gibbs album. Jid is that guy can fucking rap.
Yeah, he's on one of my favorite songs on there. Ensalada is one of my favorite songs on there as well. Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
Tremendous. The Larry June track. Shout out to Larry June, San Francisco. Yeah, the Freddie album is really dope. You guys definitely should check out Alfredo too. Appreciate that, T-Rav. Tenruza says, Collision, Dynamite, and Forbidden Door can't come soon enough. Yeah, they're about to cross overseas. I'm excited to see how you guys are as a crowd, because we know those overseas crowds are always so excited for this wrestling show. So seeing Dynamite over there, Collision, and Forbidden Door should be pretty heat. And then Tenruza also says, rest in peace and love to Ozzy and Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Rest in peace to those guys. T-Rav also says, have y'all seen South Park in the past few days?
I cannot think of the last time I've actually seen an episode of South Park. Every time I see it still on, I'm surprised. So I have not seen it, but I have heard that they were going pretty hard on Trumpito.
These guys just finagled, I think, $1 billion out of Paramount for like 100 episodes or something, maybe even less than that. Like these guys are still going very strong. I don't know how strong it's going to be after this week with the news of also the late night or the late show with Stephen Colbert, and how that the news around media and how they talk about Trump and how he can legit get your show taken off is like, not
Crazy.
a good space to exist in, as some people who, you know, do media and talk and do these things for a living, knowing that, like Paul Mooney once said on the Chappelle show, like, they'll just come and take your shit. Like, if you're on some shit, they'll just come and take your show. Like, that's a crazy space to exist in. And Stephen Colbert is like, if they're taking his show, Phil, they're taking anybody's show.
Yes. Yeah, the Colbert stuff is crazy. I mean, just the implication behind it is nuts. But Colbert's response to it was hilarious.
Great. So good.
Jon Stewart's response to it was also funny, probably even funnier, with the choir and everything behind him. Really funny, man.
Jon Stewart, I can't believe he's still doing it at this day and age. But yeah, the South Park stuff, I'm not super in tune with South Park, but I did see a couple of the clips of that stuff, and these guys are very bold with what's going on right now. This guy just got a lot of money from 60 Minutes. This guy is suing people left and right. Like, listen, if anybody, though, they have to do it, I guess.
They're still coming out like nothing's changed. Gonna down South Park, gonna see if I can unwind.
No,
like nothing is happening. No cares in the world. No worries. No, we're good.
People are moving in stealth mode. They're ducking behind things. These fools are out loud. They don't care about nothing. And I respect it. They have, if they're the medium to do that, they should do that. I'm so happy that they're going all in.
Yeah.
For now, like on Monday, we might find out that their show's canceled, though. It do be like that.
I mean, if they are getting canceled, they just got a bag. So they probably looking like, well, we got paid. What are you gonna do?
That's a fact. And they've been doing this for a long time. They probably would be okay with. Oh, they could be. I see it. Great idea, guys. Appreciate you, T-Rav. The homie Meet Norman says, rest in peace, Malcolm, Chuck, and Ozzy. Terry's color stream will match his final resting place. Bye, Felicia. Hope he reincarnates as Nick Cannon's 35th child. That was Meet Normus that said that. That was Meet Normus that said that. Appreciate you, Meet Normus, for joining in on the conversation. And yeah. The homie Van Twinblade says, we lost Ozzy, Theo, Mangione, and the guy from Gold Earring that wrote Radar Love, and no one else that effing matters. Rotten hell, Terry. Okay, the chat is getting into filling known territory.
Mm-hmm.
Van Twinblade with his piece. Appreciate that, Van Twinblade. The homie Cars for Kids. That's a hilarious name. First of all. It's a great name.
That's hilarious. Cars for Kids is hilarious, bro.
Ooh. Cars for Kids says Hogan was a legend in wrestling. He was Magic and Bird, bring his company to the mainstream during the 80s, creating a business platform for all after him. And he was a racist piece of shit. Yeah. See?
Yeah. Two things could be true, man. And listen, if some people can celebrate him as one thing and look past that, that's them. Everybody's not going to be able to do that.
That's it. That's all. And it's hard to separate those things. I understand the people that can separate. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Cars for Kids. Great name and great message. Tinruza says, annoyingly, HH theme is catchy and good. Which HH? Triple H? No, who's HH? FHHTB. Elaborate, Tenruza.
Yeah, which HH are you talking about?
There's a bunch of HHs here.
I mean, I hate that he has one of the most influential, greatest musicians of all time attached to one of his theme songs. I hate that very much. And a black man, by the way. I'm waiting for somebody to reclaim Voodoo Child for the culture, bro.
Because he came out to Voodoo Child was like his thing. Like that shit was on TNT every week. Like, and that's. But yes, I hear you,
Jimmy, man. I felt like Wesley Snipes, man. Like you can't hear Jimmy. Come on.
Straight up, Jimi Hendrix. But like even like he fuck that.
He's got some hard things. I was never a big fan of Real American. I always thought it was corny.
when you would hear that when at the most inopportune times, yeah. So
I just thought it was corny in general. I was never, I guess, because I came after that time period where he was like the biggest thing in the world in wrestling. I was a big Macho Man fan, and then like when I got into wrestling, like I say all the time, the guy that got me into wrestling was Undertaker, and so yeah, I was well past the Hulk run.
Bunch of guys that were beefing with Hulk, pretty much.
Be a man.
Macho man. Appreciate that, Teneriza. The homie Van Twinblade said, "It's where I grew up. Doesn't work with offenders. Doesn't work with racists. Hogan's was always trash in the ring. Macho Man should have had that spot."
Yeah. Well, I mean, for what Macho Man represented, he was not going to get that spot. I mean, there's a reason why Hulk was the star that he was. There's a reason why he helped to make wrestling sports entertainment for what it was, because like even the way he worked was, you know, a simplified version. Everything was exaggerated, and it was done in a way to make wrestling more palatable.
Which is also like,
it's also part of his legacy, for better or worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of the thing this week. I'm like, well, part of the reason we have this is because people were mad at the homie Big Melts, who like you talk about
Melts was outside, buddy.
No, Melts was getting his shit. But you talk about insane work ethic. This guy wrote like 15,000 words in like less than 24 hours, like a full like Hogan obituary, the thing that he usually does for wrestlers, like in hours, and like a full spread. Like that guy, unbelievable. He wrote a full book in like one day.
Yeah.
But people were mad at him because he said that Hogan didn't save wrestling, and then that went on to be a bunch of things.
Define save.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways to say what his impact on the business were, but also it's ebbs and flows, man, because there's some negatives that he also brought to the industry. He also negatively impacted the industry in some ways as well.
Because it's like they did save wrestling for WWF, but like how many companies died because of WWF?
I still think the story of just his rise is kind of crazy. Just the idea that he was hired by Vince Sr. and then he went and did Rocky III. And because Vince Sr. didn't agree with a wrestler doing a movie at the time, he got fired. And so this guy went to AWA, became a massive star because of this movie, and basically became the Hulk Hogan we knew over there. And Vince Kennedy McMahon was like, what are we doing? We're supposed to have this guy over here. Let's bring this back guy over here. And then proceed to make him like the biggest star in the world. Like the idea that this guy got fired by this guy's dad. And then his son was like, no. We fuck with you over here.
Yeah, no.
This story in itself is crazy.
Vince Jr. saw Rocky III and was like, do we let this guy go? Like, what do you mean? Like, this is unbelievable. And like, let's put that same guy on TV. He became that same guy on TV, and it happened. I mean, why wouldn't you capitalize on being in one of the biggest movies in the world with the biggest movie star in the world at the time? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that did happen. Like, somebody didn't believe, like Vince Sr. was like, I don't care. Who he did what? Like, get this guy out of here.
Different time, different visions of wrestling. But I mean, again, a lot of the biggest stars in WWE have chased what Hulk Hogan did. They've chased that crossover role and becoming a big movie star after your career. And I mean, again, this guy was huge. I mean, we think Suburban Commando, all of these terrible movies that he was in, but
Thunder in Paradise.
But these movies were everywhere. His face was everywhere at one point.
I mean, this guy was the face of pro wrestling for years and years and years, and it's hard to deny, and it's hard to also not deny. Tenruza says, appreciate that, man, Twinblade. This is a precursor to when Vince goes wild days. When Vince,
bro, I'm just gonna log off.
I can't. Phil, I'm done. I'm out of here. There's no way you could. Yes, just log off, throw your phone into the ocean, and never look back, because shit's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to it. Appreciate that, Tenriza. Timmy360 says Hulk Hogan is awesome, just like Martin Riggs is awesome in Lethal Weapon. Terry Bollea and Mel Gibson wouldn't get coffee with them. Thanks for the show. Appreciate that, Timmy. I mean, it is art and artist, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Mel Gibson. I almost said Mel Brooks. Mel Gibson is very problematic as well. But yeah, he's given us some great movies. He's given us some great memories. But also seems like a very unhinged person.
He also got a tape of saying the N-word in some wild way. So it's like,
yeah, he's got some wild receipts out there.
But like Lethal Weapon, you know?
Yeah.
So, appreciate that, Timmy. Tenruz also says, shout out AEW and TK for no selling it GOAT act. Yeah, people were very mad at AEW for not putting out their in memoriam of Hulk Hogan this week. Yeah. They don't have to.
I mean, he's banned, so I'm not sure why people would think that they were going to do that. And we've seen them put out tributes to people that didn't work there before, and people got mad. I just feels like one way or another, people are going to be upset. So
I don't know. I don't think you should have to because you're a pro wrestling brand on TV. You can, but I mean, I think it was a double-edged sword, like you're saying, Phil. They were gonna either way. People are gonna be mad.
Yeah, I mean, I get the talking point of this guy impacted all of wrestling, and so I mean, like even New Japan has done tributes to him this week, and so I get people feeling like it seems petty, but yeah, once they banned him, I don't know why people would expect that.
Yeah, because I could see people being like, I mean, a big part of the reason that you're on TNT is because of, and TBS is because of Hogan. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But at the same time, like it's their choice. Right. It's just like I keep saying throughout this entire time, it's your choice if you want to celebrate this guy's life or not.
However you want to, however you want it, you know what I mean? However you feel, could be however you want. Appreciate that, Tenruzer. Ben Simpner says, I can never understand the mentality of he was nice to me, so that excuses how he treats other people. It doesn't mean you are pure evil because you are a deplorable person. Yeah, I don't really, when John Cena gets on his Vince McMahon did great for me, and I don't understand why the backlash is happening. It's like, it's never the time. All the time, it's like, nobody want to really hear how he was great to you, the not demographic of people that he was terrorizing. Anytime it's like, well, he wasn't, he never did that to me, a man of that people that he didn't harass. It's like, he didn't do that to you, you dumb idiot.
Well, I mean, I understand judging people on your experiences with them, but then when you use that to dismiss somebody else's feelings about him, that's when I don't really get what you're trying to do, because it's like, well, he was always nice to me. That's not who I know him to be. Yeah, but there's well-documented stuff here about him. I mean, if you feel like, this guy was always great to you and you want to do nothing but celebrate him, that's your choice based on your experiences. But like to dismiss other people's opinions of him, that's kind of crazy.
That's the part that gets me, the dismissive. If you just come out like, this is my experiences, blah, 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 I'm with that, I'm with you. But when they're like, well, no, because of this, I'm like, that's not, you can't take away from other people's thing because you had this great experience, because there's not always great experiences. Appreciate that, Ben. Lynn Got the homie says, complicated equals, we're not trying to say he's racist.
Well, if we're talking about WWE, I didn't watch any of the tribute last night. I saw the stuff that Cody said, and Cody saying complicated.
Cody said that.
I guess that was the word Cody used. But once he was taken out of the Hall of Fame and just reinstated, and he's been on the show this year with certain things he's been saying and doing publicly, they're not going to reference it again.
That was this year?
Yeah, that was the beginning of this year. Because it was on Netflix.
Oh, right. Yeah. What a crazy year. Oh my God. That feels like that was 5 years ago. That totally was on Netflix. I had just watched the clip of Undertaker talking about it on his podcast or whatever. And they were like, how was it? He was like, well, he was just trying to sell that beer pretty much. He was no selling it. And I'm like, damn, that was this year.
Yeah. So,
but
yeah,
of course, Cody's going to say that though, right? Of course, he's going to complicate it and feel how he feels.
Of course. I mean, anybody in that world that talks about him glowingly and also has to reference the fact that he was polarizing, you're going to use words like that because you can't just call him a racist because you're also trying to pay tribute to him. So,
so his past is complicated. He's done some things.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. I understand. I understand the situation Cody was in.
Because he's kind of the face, he's the face of the company. He has to go out and represent it in a way.
Yeah, I think what Cody said was fine, but this is why I didn't watch the episode because I didn't really have interest in that to begin with. And so, if you had no interest in seeing him be memorialized and celebrated, anything that's said that's not what you want it to be is going to be upsetting.
Definitely. 100%. I appreciate that. The homie Ben Sifner also says, and you don't have to apologize if you liked his on-screen work. 1000%. No apologies. If that's all your shit, if Hogan's your number one on your list, good for you.
Yeah. Look, I know black fans that are still big Hulk Hogan fans.
Facts.
And that's perfectly fine. I never want to be the kind of person that tells people how to feel like, oh, you shouldn't be a fan of this guy because I'm not a fan or because other people feel this way and they can't separate the person from the character. Some people can, and I get it, man. Like, and again, I get like the nostalgia. I get what he represented to certain people's childhood. I'm never going to be that guy that's like, oh, well, you can't be a Hulk Hogan fan. If you're a Hulk Hogan fan, then you're some word that keeps seeing people use that I won't say on the podcast.
Yeah, we don't want to be attached to that one.
Nah.
Appreciate that, Ben.
Yeah.
The homie R. Curtis says people are mad at TK for not saying anything about Hulk. Let people feel how they feel.
Yeah.
That one is again, it's a touchy subject. That's the number one guy for that the other company, like number one of all time guy. It's a lot of things attached to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you got the Bischoff stuff attached to it as well. It's complicated.
The whole thing, like the last couple of weeks of Bubba the Love Sponge, like having all these crazy updates. What was that? Was
very weird, man. Very, very weird, bro.
I was just like, because they have a super complicated relationship, obviously.
Yeah.
He plays a huge
role, the least.
While we found out about all of this. So like he's been the last couple of weeks being like, Hogan's down bad, he's all of this, but then Jimmy Hart put out a tweet the other day where he was like, karaoke was so fun, baby, me and Hogan, all of us, we had such a great time. And I was like, wait, the whole thing was so confusing, Phil. I just don't know, man.
I just seen Hulk, baby, he's all right.
Why did he, like, I understand why he did that, but like
I just seen Hulk, he was just cupping his ear and everything, he was drinking beer.
Karaoke, dog. This is crazy. I mean, I understand one last boogie oogie to karaoke, but
speaking of karaoke, I have burned in my brain since Texas Daniel Garcia doing the fucking shampoo commercial song. Release your inhibition, feel the rain on your skin. And that is like burned in my brain now. Every time I think about it, I think of him on that stage singing that song. It's so funny.
You know, that song has been stuck in my head and I didn't know why. And that's why.
That's probably what it is.
Daniel Garcia, I'm like, why has this song been stuck in my head?
No one else can feel it for you. That's probably one of those top 10 white songs that just gets off. I don't care, bro. Yeah, it's an amazing song, man. Like
every time it comes, they be dropping it at Oakland brunch sometimes, and that shit goes crazy. Like
goes crazy, bro.
You would think it's one of ours. How ham people?
Nah, bro, that's one of those universal joints. No, I'm sorry, bro. That's a record.
People got dance steps to it and all kind of shit. Like, nah, that one hits different over here.
Yeah, Unwritten is the name of the song. My bad, I called it the shampoo commercial, but like for a long time, it's attached to the fucking shampoo commercial.
The shampoo commercial. That's probably how it entered the game. You know what I mean?
But that's been stuck in my head since Dallas. Daniel Garcia on that stage singing that.
Daniel Garcia. Thanks, Danny. The homie Deontay Swanier also says it's okay to be upset about Hogan, what he said, and it did. I played happy music as a distraction. Been a lot of death for me lately. I wish his family prayers and rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner and Ozzy.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate that, Deontay. When it's so out loud now with like the announcements and how people are moving, and it's hard to kind of avoid it. Like the Malcolm thing had happened, and I was like, we were like in mourning and shit, and I had forgot about it for a little bit. Then I went on Facebook, and like every post was some kind of tribute or some kind of video or something. I was like, fuck. It's crazy.
Yeah, the stuff with his family just makes it even sadder to me, man. Just like what he represents to us is one thing, but just like tag, like that entire story of how he passed is just so sad, man.
Fuck me up bad. But yeah, like you're saying, Phil, like us, we've seen him on the outside looking in. We've experienced him as an entertainer, but yeah, for them, for his family, his wife and kid, it's like I can't imagine like going to an event or not to like a vacation or something with somebody and then coming back without them. Like that just shit, man. Rest in peace again to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. He really fucked us up, you guys. I appreciate the Deontay, the homie in Nam Dio Dozu 2902 says, I think I've given up on Bayley being booked the way she deserves. I know she has some great matches, but turning her heel to continue jobbing, nah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's the move with Bayley. This was the first week. Attached to Hogan stuff. Becky has been doing Hogan references. She came out with like the all red and the yellow jacket. I thought that was
forgot about that too. So random that just started happening.
So I said on Twitter the other day when Bayley was in a tag match with Lyra and they lost, I was like, oh, Bayley should help Becky win at SummerSlam. And that's how Lyra will never be able to challenge for the IC title again. And afterwards, Bayley, who has been a known Macho Man fan, who has mimicked Macho Man multiple times in her career, should then mimic the Mega Powers handshake with Becky.
I love
as
it.
The payoff to all of that. I think that would be pretty funny.
Amazing idea. Yeah, Bayley is, I don't know if they're thinking about it, but they're establishing her in like that kind of vet role of like she's going to continue to be in these positions. I don't think she's going to be like the position we want her to be in as like the head of this, but she's going to be here to do her job and put people over because she's an amazing talent.
Yeah. I wonder how much longer she has on her contract.
She apparently did a promo after the show last night showing her frustrations with not being on the SummerSlam card, but that could be,
that could be work. That could be anything, but it is crazy that she wasn't on WrestleMania and now she's not going to be on the SummerSlam card.
I mean, come on, you guys. Like, and that it's always the same with her is like, she's doing amazing work surrounding it. It's not just because like she'll be doing great work in helping them sell the show and then they won't put her on the show. And it's like, huh?
Yeah.
Like she's helping them sell SummerSlam right now and she's not going to be on SummerSlam.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. The homie Alex Fitzgerald says firing a beer ambassador because she was black, then shows up to the RNC convention and then taking that picture with the fan with the Nazi tattoo. As a black fan that liked Hogan, I can't respect him.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. If it was just what he said on that leaked audio, that'd be one thing. But there's been so many other things that happened after that compounded that. Yeah, I'm good.
It's receipts and receipts and receipts. Like, it's not just the audio. It's this, and then it's this, and then these are recent things. Like, these are happening a year ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. So it's like,
yeah, I'm good.
So yeah, I hear you. Appreciate that. Van Twin Blaze says the fact that a white man from Georgia was legally allowed to come out to Voodoo Child is offensive to me as a human being. Listen, if you got the money to pay for it, he had the money to pay for it.
He had the bag.
So I get them numbers were. I'm like, who agreed to this? I see why WCW went the fuck down, because you guys are negotiating anything. Like, I know, like, we're talking about it. We talked about it on the show what he represented, but like, this contract that I was reading yesterday was in 1998. So like this was the downward swing by this point. And they were like, no, let's give this fool another bit. Like, I see why things went down the way that they did.
Yeah. Meanwhile, his boys on area Hawaii talking about, man, they're this close. TNA could be number 2 promotion in the world. They could be this close. And I was like, all right, buddy. I wish there was a world where people would go out gracefully and just allow us to appreciate the good things they did, but don't like all this engagement stuff he's doing is so weird.
Yeah. You did, like, the NWO, your name's attached to it. Like, you got legacy, my dog. Like, some people love some of the things that you did, but there's so many things that he's doing to hurt those things, and he continuously on this AEW grifter thing and that thing recently with TNA in a year could be number 2. And it's like, why are you saying this? And then this Real American thing going to be on Fox News or whatever. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why? I don't know. Appreciate that, Ventura Blade. The homie Corey David says, saw AAA last night. Dom is over. Is it crazy to say in 2 or 3 years, Dom is world champion? Also, Kaiser speaking Spanish makes the Grande gimmick his.
Yeah, I think Kaiser has definitely made it his own thing at this point.
3 years for Dom, Phil?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I watched the clip of him invading in AAA last night and attacking Vikingo, and yes, very over. The crowd was going nuts. Let me really think about this for a second. 3 years. There's 2 championships. What is 3? Yeah, I think so. I think I can see it. I can see him winning the World Heavyweight Championship in 3 years. Think about 3 years, Phil, with where we're going. Like, we see like I Show Speed and shit on TV. Logan Paul's getting this shit off. Like, think about it, where we're gonna be in 3 years.
I don't know.
Still not with it.
I don't know if I believe that.
That's a lifetime from now in WWE years, man. Think about it. It's gonna be wild as hell in 3 years. Like, Speed, the show, is gonna be like the norm. Like, the Raw is gonna be 3 minutes each, and you know what I mean. Like, we're gonna be in a crazy place at this time. And like Dom, the way that he's moving right now, I can see it.
No, man.
Like, no, not with it.
No.
But yeah, them loading up, them sending all the Latino talent to AAA has been interesting, funny.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. I hope this means good things for Legado, Del Fantasma. I mean, I think they're going to do the open challenge going forward with the AAA Tag Team Championships.
I like that.
Hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully we get to see them wrestle some more. They're so good, and I just don't really get why they're not doing more with them.
Dude, they're amazing. Like, if I was like, we need a tag team that's looks great, they work great, they have all the tools, like, those feel like the guys, but I don't know. I mean, they guess they see it because they have them as those tag team championships, but
yeah, I just don't get it. 2 guys that wrestle very well, 2 very good looking guys. One of them talks well. He's got everything. He's got the look. I thought coming out of NXT, he had like a great gimmick where he used to do the pants joint. Like, I don't get why they don't see it in those 2 guys, man. I don't get it.
I'm like, these guys are checking all the boxes that I thought you guys wanted checked. Sometimes those confusing things just happen. It's timing and all of this, and maybe they'll start to see it when they continue to tear it up over there.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Corey. Bulletproof Trash Bag says RIP, racist in peace. Appreciate that. Fitzgerald also says it's still crazy Hogan passed away on the 10-year anniversary of his audio being leaked of him saying the N-word. Karma, question mark.
That is very crazy timing. A lot of people were mentioning that throughout the week. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's some insane timing. I don't know why and I don't know how, but that definitely happened. Definitely saw that. Appreciate that. Bulletproof Trash Bags also says Bruno Sammartino's first WWF title lasted from 1963 to 1971. Hollywood Hogan kicked the bucket at 71. Numeric coincidence? People with these numbers.
I don't know, man. Maybe.
Could be. I don't know. Appreciate that. Punk Rock Glitch says, I didn't respect Hulk Hogan while he lived. I'm not going to pretend I respect him now. He was a bald, racist piece of shit with a crap finisher. Let them feelings fly. Again, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. That's how you feel.
Listen, man.
That's how some people are gonna feel.
Your inhibition, feel the rain on your skin.
Release those inhibitions is all I'm saying and all I'm feeling. Appreciate that. And then Tin Ruza says for the super chat for now says the Travis Scott situation is hilarious. The Travis Scott situation is hilarious. Honestly, there's been so many twists and turns. I mean, starting out with us being super confused as to why he was even in the ring with The Rock and John Cena, going to the longest WrestleMania entrance of all time, longer than The Undertaker's entrance, to the big giant slap on Cody. Like this sequence of events, Phil, to lead to them now being like, we want no parts of them. Amazing.
I wonder how true that is, because that's, of course, the report that's coming out that there's been a falling out between both parties.
And then I just immediately thought of Pusha T being mad at him coming to Wyoming or whatever with the box. I'm like, he did that in WWE.
Bro. Pusha T, as a part of his rollout, kicking this guy's back in. Drew McIntyre just being on TV. Yeah, fuck this guy. He ruined our main event. And then, like, this is going on right now. Like, it's...
I'm like, what is this guy Travis doing? It sounds like he's doing what I thought he would do. Is like, he's being a rapper. He's getting his shit off. Like, he's having a good time, but it's like he's doing too much, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this could mean nothing. We could end up seeing Travis on a show soon, and I don't know what this means, but the timing of it is very funny. The stuff being said makes it even funnier.
And the fact that Jelly Roll has a main event, and like, you know, it's like, okay,
bro, the fucking West Side tweet recently where he's like, yeah, I was outright disrespected by a certain company that I would do anything for, so I had to just go and make my own thing. Meanwhile, they got all these other dudes that don't even really care about wrestling over there. The timing of that is very funny, man.
All of this together, I was like, oh, that's super interesting. This is yeah, because we've always wondered, like, what was the West Side Gun thing like? If this guy's buying front row tickets to every show, WrestleMania included, this guy's spending thousands upon thousands to just come and be in the show, and behind the scenes is trying to broker deals and is trying to be a part of this, and then nothing ever happens. Of course, he's going to feel away how he does. We don't know exactly what happened, but the tweet would insinuate that. I'm sure they were like, who the fuck are you, probably, and like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's not worked out very well, because I'm telling you, I've been at a lot of shows since I went to the Fourth Row show in November this year, and every time I've gone to a wrestling show this year, I see a lot of Fourth Row shirts.
I thought it was just because we went to the one in Vegas, And then I went to another show somewhere else, and I was like, there's kind of a lot of fourth rope shirts here. And I thought it was just for where I was at, but legit, every wrestling show that I've been to post Vegas, there's been a number, like more than just like, just like a splattering of fans have fourth row merch and are representing for this. And I'm like, this is a lot bigger than I think people think.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake for certain parties to not want to work with him, because you just see like his appeal to certain wrestling fans. He just has, I don't know, he has a cool factor to people that, you know, a lot of people in wrestling don't have. And I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of them heels hats, which those hats are hard. The fourth rope shirts,
Man, I want one of those.
I keep seeing them everywhere, bro. Like I don't know.
Them heels hats are so hard. Damn, I want one of those so bad. Let me get one of those. They're gone. They're gone.
Now you gotta look at it. Might look away, man, because they brought Travis in. They're doing the Cactus Jack merch with him, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Which they don't care. They're making money, so
yeah, they'll be fine. Like they replaced him with a different musician. It's fine. They don't care about nothing.
Yeah. They're gonna find a way to get it back. They don't care.
Everything's okay. Everything's fine. I saw clips of Jelly Roll talking on Stephanie's podcast, and I was just like, Stephanie's podcast. Like,
yeah, what's the name of it? I keep wanting to call it Stephanie's Places. That's the other thing. The podcast is What's Your Story or something like that.
Yeah. And it's funny because like it seems like every clips I ever see of them, it's whoever the guest is referencing Triple H, who seems to be in the room. I'm like, why is he at every taping now? They're like, thanks, Paul. And they're like, he's like right there.
This guy's going to be in the room. He's going to find a way to get his name mentioned. Like this guy, man, I swear. The funniest guy in the world, bro.
It never fails, man. They're like, no, I'm going to tell a story. Like, you're going to mention me in this. And it's so funny because I just watched a bunch of episodes of that show, The Studio, on Apple TV, and with Seth Rogen. And he's a studio exec. And at one of the episodes is about this award show, and he wants to get thanked by Zoe Kravitz. And so throughout the episode, everybody keeps going up there and they thank this Netflix exec. And so Seth Rogen is so confused about it. And like he eventually sees the exec in the bathroom and he's like, what did you do to get all these people to thank you? Like, did you like bring them coffee? Did you like go on set and on stage and all this? And the guy goes, no, they're contractually obligated to. I put it in their contract that they have to thank me every time, because if not, they wouldn't. I'm like, I swear to God, this guy has in his contract where he's like, if you don't thank me on this show, if my name is not mentioned in this interview, it's gonna be your ass. You have to say it, like it's contractually obligated to do it. And if it's not, I wouldn't believe it,
bro. The idea of them recording this and he's just sitting back there sipping some coffee. Hey, forgetting something? Something?
They wrap the whole thing up and he's like, nah, there's one more thing.
Hey, Stu, cut the mics back on. He didn't get to it yet.
He didn't get to it yet. We're done, dog.
Where you going, pal?
He didn't get to it yet.
Over here. He's trying to I walk out the room and Triple H is back that way, but hey, buddy, over here. Dixie cup of water, like, hey.
Dude, I'm crying that he didn't get to it yet. Oh man,
this is the other great thing about wrestling, though. Wrestling is unlike any other form of entertainment, because while we're sitting here saying how problematic Hulk Hogan is probably one of the funniest human beings unintentionally for so many reasons. I've been laughing on and off at the fucking Jeezy clip because it's one of the greatest things he's contributed to the internet. And shout out to Chris Hero for doing the screenshot of the Jeezy album cover, and I love it because there was a certain time period where every time I thought about Hogan, I thought about I love it. That clip is hilarious. The Bam
amazing
Margera
clip,
thing.
dog. The Bam thing, Bam paid off this long-term storytelling with his tweet. I'm like, this is, you guys, this is so good. This is perfect. There's some Hogan moments that it's like, nah, this guy was a fool, man. Some of the stories that he was telling, I'm like, like if you look up fucking wrestler in the dictionary, what pro wrestler is, this guy was the fucking poster child.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a good bit. Okay, we got two more super chats before we move forward. Fitzgerald also said it's hilarious. Bischoff says TNA could be number 2 when him and Hogan were the main ones that made TNA not a number 2. Honestly, they did this and they were like, well, they can come back from it. No, they can't come back. You did this. You did this.
Hey, come back from it. It's cool. They're doing the Goldberg thing. Nah, he's all right. It'll be crap for him. He's all right. He'll be fine.
I broke his arm before. It'll be cool.
It happened before. He'll
oh man. And then Bulletproof Trashback says burying Hulk Hogan in a KKK outfit and a white coffin is valid. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. Appreciate you and your contributions to the day. Whew, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I hear your guys' feelings out there. You know, I hear them.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys for super chats. We've got some humper chats from Chris Like Vegas. He says won't be able to watch the show live, but appreciate you guys. F Hogan for RIP to Ozzy. Let's make this show 6 hours for the sickos? ? No, sir.
No, 0%.
No, sir. 0% chance, man.
Mm-hmm.
From Tony P, he says Petty of the Week winner. Black folks. Tony P says Petty of the Week winner. Black folks in a celebration / lack of empathy for the passing of Terry. Now you have some people that are mourning, and that is fine. I respect that. However, do not tell Black people who don't give a fuck to show grace if they don't want to. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. Look, man, if you want to memorialize this guy and celebrate his life,
you should.
I'm not going to jump into some of the stuff that I've seen some people doing. It's gone a bit overboard, but I'm also not going to tell people how to feel.
It's been interesting seeing the major outlets grab Black wrestling fans to talk on there. I'm like, what gave them that idea is what I was thinking. Like, why did I see like mostly Black wrestling fans talking about this?
Yeah. Well, I will say, I think one of the great things about wrestling right now is that there are so many great Black voices in it. There are so many people that are on podcasts that they can reach out to. Bro, when I seen Kaz up there with Greenberg, I was like, dog, this Kaz is Kaz, man. And we've had this conversation privately, but that just tells you the level of recognition that Kaz has in multiple spaces, not just in wrestling. Yeah. But yeah, seeing Kaz on CNN
cool
with Greenberg is crazy. And I mean,
wait, Kaz is on CNN? That's wild. That's dog for our space. That's so fucking cool.
I mean, this is Greenberg. Greenberg is like a historian, and like I said, you got Kaz sitting next to him. That's crazy, man. Shout out to Kaz. I thought that he handled the situation very well. I thought that he spoke very well. I did laugh at Greenberg trying to get his last 2 cents in at the very end. I was like, yeah, he tried to clean that up, but yeah. But I do think it's crazy. Shout out to the homie Brian H. Waters. I saw he was on BBC. Mm-hmm. This isn't the first time they've had him on to talk about Hogan. I know Brian's a Hogan fan, so mm-hmm. I know what that means to him. I've seen him also talk about it on his IG. And if you're looking for a more well-rounded person that's going to actually talk about his legacy, there is that out there. And that's why I think it's so interesting that you'll have people that'll come here and go, well, you guys are not giving it up to him. There's a lot of people giving it up to Hogan.
A bunch.
You're going to get people that are going to write his obituary. I mean, Dave wrote the obituary on it. Like I said, David Shoemaker wrote a very good piece on him for The Ringer. There's a lot of great material out there if you're looking for that.
And
But you
this
just can't.
It's going to be a bunch coming eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get documentaries and other stuff afterwards. But you can't expect everybody to feel the same exact way about them and to do the same thing. I do think it's very interesting that some of these news outlets were like, oh, we can't just get all white people to talk about them. But that just tells you how much wrestling has changed, because this used to be predominantly white genre with a lot of white people being the ones that get to be the ones that, spread the message of it and tell the history of it. And so I think that it is great that you do have the Kaz's of the world. You do have black podcasts, and you do have so many people that are available for these kind of things.
I mean, this is the thing that we fought for. This is the reason why I wanted to get into the game. So when something like this, you could contact us and you could put us in those spaces and we could be doing those things. So yeah, like Phil says, if you want some different kind of coverage on the Hogan matter, there's definitely it out there, or it's coming.
Yeah, and I thought that Kaz is Kaz because he articulated how a lot of black people felt very well.
That's why it's a good representation for us.
Yeah,
shout out to Kaz. Every time I see him next to Mello, I'm like, man,
guys,
what a cool thing.
That guy's out here. I told you when he came on our podcast, I still think one of the funniest things that's ever happened in my entire life as a black man is playing 2K and playing my player. And Kaz tweeted me in the game, and I was like, wait, I know this guy in real life.
That's crazy.
And this guy will actually tweet me in real life. It's really funny to me. But that's just where Kaz is in terms of the rest of us. He's up here somewhere.
It's way different. There's levels to this, and he is up there. I mean, CNN called him. It's different.
Bro, bro was out in Paris with what's that gun doing the Hills Have Eyes show. He just came out for one of the entrances for Slamversary. I thought that was hilarious in itself as well. He came out there with the Islanders jersey. I was like, wait a minute. That's who I think it is.
Dog, I saw him in a picture with Ben Stiller, and I was like, I think it's like life is different. I think
one of the most outside black guys in the space, man. I sometimes see our friend doing things, and I was like, I don't think this guy is like a real person. Like, he does things that don't make sense to me. He's in rooms that don't make sense to me. He'll just tell stories that don't make sense to me at all. And Kaz is like that times a million.
I'm like, how did you? I think that all the time. Like, Kaz is there. That's crazy. Like, just to know what he represents of wrestling and hip hop and being a black man, it's like, that's so cool that we have that.
Hey, we got to have him back on this show, because there's a joke I want to tell on this show, and I also I can't tell it without him here, because it won't make as much sense. But what a guy.
We should have him back on. Come back on. I think we were talking about him last week. We should have Cam back on too, because I think that'd be pretty funny at this point.
Has Cam been back on this show since the Christmas Eve episode that he did with the three of us on? I don't think he has.
I don't think he's done it with just the two of us, huh?
Yeah. Also a very funny guy.
That fool. I've been thinking about him since Texas, and I'm like, Cam and Will Ospreay, those guys are having a great time.
Bro. That white ball cap, bro. I kept seeing that pop up, man.
Every time I see that white ball cap slide through somewhere, I'm like, oh, it's lit out here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Phew. Yeah. More from Tony P. He says, I am not blind to his importance to wrestling. So, sorry. Let me reread that. Sorry, Tony. He says, am I blind to his importance to wrestling? No. But this guy let it be known that he believed black people weren't shit and beneath him. If you were a black Hogan fan as a kid, it is 10 times worse when you learn this, tainting possible happy childhood memories. Yeah. For some people, because again, I get the disappointment. I get the anger in him. Some people just moved past it.
Yep. And like, that's okay. And some people came after. So many people started watching wrestling after all of his stuff, like even after he was involved in the business that fully. So I could understand how things sit differently for people.
I forgot about that.
What
Desi is saying, I thought of blow the whistle yesterday and died. LOL. I completely forgot about that. I don't think you saw it because you were looking the other direction, and I was like, very funny, man. I'm glad that I wasn't the only one
on at that time that I was looking at that I just remembered, and I was there was a lot going on in there.
Texas. But yeah, I'm glad that I wasn't the only person that was standing in our group of people that turned around and saw that at the same time. Blow the Whistle is one of those other records that I don't care when you throw it on, man. People are gonna get up out their seats, bro. It's Blow the Whistle.
As someone that lives and breathes and screams about Oakland, California all the time, felt great seeing it in Texas and it going just as hard as it does in Oakland. I'm like, oh, this song is universal.
Bro, you could throw that on in so many settings and people are going to get up to dance. And I mean, this is Too Short. At this point, that's like Too Short's biggest record.
It is. Yeah. I've seen it explode so many parties. I've seen so many things go crazy when that song comes on. That's the one.
Yeah, nah.
That didn't shake that monkey, but you know.
You had to be there for this reference. Very funny, man. More from Tony P. He says, to those that said he changed in the last few years, ask the black model who he fired last year if he changed or supports for MAGA that values hate and sadism. Do I feel sorry for those that loved him? Kinda, but not too much. With that, rest in peace, Ozzy and Malcolm.
Rest in peace.
Now on to the Graps. I luckily missed Hogan opening, but in the start of the Paul Jelly Randy Drew segment, I feel for the people who paid to watch that next week's live because that looks like it's going to be rough. Also, no Bailey or Julia. What? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Julia, bro. Like, they made Julia champion, and she hasn't had any real title defenses. She hasn't really had any storylines. I know I saw last night from SmackDown, they're putting her with Kiana James. Kiana James is going to be a representative now. I don't really get what they're doing with her.
What? I've seen her, like, they put her on TV, like, she's been posing with her belt in random spots. I think I saw her on Evolve at one point, but, like, I haven't seen her be put in any matches or any angles. I'm like, maybe she's injured?
Yeah, I don't really understand what they're doing. And it seems like they really like Julia, so that's what's confusing me. I don't know. I don't get
giving her great opportunities and putting her in these spots, which means like they feel something for her, but like, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, they fast tracked her from NXT, brought her up. It's pretty clear that Triple H likes her, and I mean, when you consider how marketable she could be, and I think her English is pretty good. I don't really get it. I don't get why they're using her this way. I don't know.
Representative? What?
Yeah, I don't get it. Maybe they were just trying to find some way to add Kiana to the show. They've been trying to add Kiana back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
From Daryl, he says, morning/afternoon Grapsody. First off, thank you, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne for the years of entertainment. I forgot someone. Oh, and Chuck Mangione. I loved your King of the Hill appearances. Other guy, he was dead to me when he showed no remorse. Yeah, people are gonna feel away.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is.
Yep. The story of the podcast today.
Yep. We've got wrestling stuff to talk about other than death. Do want to get past that. We have talked about this guy for the first hour or so of our show, which of course, considering his magnitude and the level of stardom he is, that does make sense. Also, the level of controversy around him. Also, could spend a lot of time talking about.
I mean, we could have did a 4-hour podcast on just him, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people that are going to spend hours upon hours talking about this guy. for the next few weeks or so.
Like WWE's about to milk this thing, and rightfully so. This guy is like arguably the biggest star that they ever had.
Yes. But we did have wrestling. Despite me being sick, I did try to keep up with the G1. It is funny. The last time we were here, I watched the first night, and then I was not staying up, guys. I was getting in my bed and going to sleep. Not staying up, but I did go back and get a chance to watch parts of it. We started night 2 with the announcement that Gabe Kidd had to forfeit his match against Zack Sabre Jr. because he had hyperextended his knee. That was unfortunate given the fact that we opened the tournament with such a big moment for him. And that was a match that he was talking about wanting for so long. And I thought that was going to play out for the entirety of the tournament and probably the remainder of the year. And now he's missing a chance to have the match against the world champion and what that would have meant. Yeah. Then, of course, on Friday, we got the news that he would have to withdraw from the tournament because he's not cleared to wrestle. That really sucked. I was wondering at one point, like, all right, is this a work? Is there something to this? But based on his reactions to it, it seems pretty real. I think it sucks considering the year that Gabe Kidd is having and how his G1 run ended last year. I thought that this was going to be a big year for him in the G1. Yeah. So it sucks that we're not going to get a chance to see him in the G1. Hopefully this isn't a serious injury and he's back wrestling soon.
Yeah, that was the most, I think, unfortunate thing is it feels like he was going to be set up to have a big tournament and all eyes were kind of on him. He's going to be defending the championship. Like it felt like just the couple of matches he was set up for in the first few days of the tournament was going to be big for him. Like all of this was set up for him to have a great showing. And so to immediately after the first day, it'd be like, he can't make it. We don't know if he's going to make it. And then them now announcing that he's out for the rest of the tournament is so unfortunate just because of what I think the tournament we talked about last week of what it was representing of the new faces, the people that are going to be leading this company forward. He is playing a gigantic role in the development of this tournament.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But yeah, that they pretty much load up the first 2 nights of the tournament. So he was supposed to be the main event of that night.
Right.
Because he had to match with Zack Sabre. Of course, Zack Sabre, because he forfeited, picked up the 2 points. Zack has since said that that's a fake 2 points. He's not happy about getting 2 points that way at all, which as a wrestler, as the world champion, he should feel that way.
Yep. He has to say those things because he wants to run the gauntlet of this tournament and not have any asterisks by any of his victories. So I did like that. It was unfortunate because that was going to be a gigantic match. We would have been talking about the shit all week. Like, awful timing for the homie Gabe Kidd. And hopefully, you're saying it's not as bad and he could heal up pretty soon.
I think the blessing in disguise about this, when we talked about it last week, we talked about what Gabe Takeshita was probably going to be for the remainder of this year heading into Wrestle Kingdom. And because that was his first match in the opening night, and it looks like Takeshita was the guy that took his chance to compete in the G1 away, that adds even more heat to the storyline. And I'm even more convinced now, if Takeshita does not win this tournament, it probably will be Takeshita versus Gabe Kidd for the global championship at Wrestle Kingdom.
That's going to be great if the homie Gabe Kidd can make it there at this point. We know how these leg injuries can be. We know how stuff like that could be affected. Coming into this tournament and losing Goto and then losing Gabe Kidd like that, very unfortunate way to kind of get this G1 kicked off.
Yeah. Speaking of Goto, we've had the ticket discourse and some of the attendance discourse around some of these shows.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time, like, I think we've really seen the effects of not having Naito, but then not having Goto as champion, because Goto was helping to sell a lot of tickets. He was a legitimate draw for New Japan this year. And I think you're seeing the effects now of losing some of the big stars like Naito and also not having Goto.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was going to be like this. I was actually just reading about the attendance of the show last night and how it compared to last year and how like there's a big drop. But like even beyond that, what we were talking about a few months ago with Goto and how attendance was up and how people were so excited for his reign. I'm now really confused as to why we didn't continue this. Like it's great seeing Zach as the champion, and I love his energy and how he's moving as world champion. But like the Goto train was so hot and the crowds were up and everybody was so excited about it. I'm now super confused. I mean, that's playing a role too, that he also had to miss the tournament beyond not being world champion. And then Gabe Kidd's out too. So there's a bunch of these things that could be a draw that are working against it. Some people were talking online about how they haven't created any new stars, and this is the reason. Like if you lose all your big stars to either retirement or going to a different company, it's part of New Japan's problem that they haven't created anybody to kind of lead the ship so far. And I could hear an argument about it.
I think they have started moving the ball and creating new stars. I just think they're still in a transition period. And it's just unfortunate that it seems like Goto's really injured. That's the only thing I could see here, that's why they had him drop the belt, because he's unable to compete. He's taking some time off to recover. It's just bad timing. That's what it seems like.
Man.
Yeah.
Injuries are so awful at this time, especially with like, I mean, they have their gigantic G1 tournament, but then also like Forbidden Door is going to play a role, and like all these kind of extracurriculars are going to be affected by the things going on. But yeah, attendance has been down a little bit due to kind of some of the changes, and it's unfortunate because there's been some really great wrestling in this tournament.
Yes. Yeah, night 2, we did get a lot of wrestling. I did think it was very funny that listen, man, still pretty good at these prediction things, because I did pick Drilla Maloney to win his match against Shota Umino, and Drilla Maloney hit this guy with a disgusting looking Drilla Killer to win the match. I mean, the way he landed on his neck, I was like, oh, all right, but Drilla picked up the win here.
He did.
Callum Newman also picked up his first win of the tournament to pick up his first 2 points. Oleg is doing pretty good so far. I believe he's got 6 points. He picked up his win over Oiwa as well. Most of the matches on night 2, I can't say were that memorable. When you start trying to catch up on them, like I was watching them back to back to back, I was like, night 2 was fine. Really, the match to me to watch from night 2 was going to be El Fantasmo versus Takeshita, and that match was fine. It wasn't as good as some of their other matches outside of New Japan. Like they had a really good one from Maple Leaf Pro last year. This was a good one as well. The LP match that I'll talk about in a second was probably one of his best performances, not just of this tournament, but in a very long time, in my opinion. But I thought this match itself was fine.
Yeah, I love the kind of energy and the way that LP's been working in this tournament, kind of as a dark horse, and like people aren't expecting him to win this tournament, but he's like, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm about to have these crazy performances, and I'm about to have fun out there, and that feels like that's what a lot of this tournament has been.
Yeah. Oiwa, I believe, on night 3 took on Tanahashi, picked up another win. Sorry, not Oiwa. Oleg, Bolden Oleg picked up another win, racked up 6 points. I believe he's tied for first place in A block. Let me just make sure so I'm not guessing. He is tied for first place in A block with Yota Tsuji and Evil with 6 points apiece. But yeah, great start for Oleg so far.
Yeah.
Getting a win over Tanahashi. Tanahashi got that first win, and then all those guys was like, "Oh, you ready to compete, huh?" I see you, big dog.
They're like, this isn't one of those nostalgic runs. Oh, you're really out here? We're fighting
really outside? Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cool. I got something for you. And they had something for him. Bolden Oleg has looked great throughout this. No surprising. He's really looked like a tournament wrestler in this, presenting himself as big and separating himself from the rest of the field, man. He really stands out.
Yes. Night 3 ended with Yota Tsuji versus Yuya Uemura. A very fun match. these guys, of course, have been linked because of their feud elsewhere. I thought that this was a good way to end night 3. Pretty strong main event. This actually felt like a main event. I think that also was kind of the damper on night 2 is that they had to move some things around and they didn't have the big match that was supposed to be the main event.
Yeah, that Zach and Gabe thing really shifted the energy on this and what that main event was going to be.
Yeah. But night 4, I was very, very shocked when I saw the results of this because we've all been kind of dreading the rematch of Shota Umino and Zack Sabre Jr. since this Dome match. I mean, there are people that do not want Shota to win this tournament because they're afraid that that's going to be the rematch in the Dome. The main event for night 4, I thought was much better than their Wrestle Kingdom match.
Listen, we've come on this podcast for most of this year and a better part of last year talking about Shota and his place in this New Japan. I will say in this tournament, he has been looking a lot stronger with his strikes. He is looking a lot more confident. He's starting to look like the wrestler New Japan wants him to be. And it was in full force on this match, brother. I think he was riding off of what people were saying about his Wrestle Kingdom match, what came out of that, and was like, okay, I need to improve. I have to show, if I'm going to show anybody where I gotten since January against Zack Sabre Jr. is the way to do it. And he was going against Zack Sabre Jr. today. The strikes, I'm telling you, that's really what has changed for Shota for me. Like the last couple matches, I'm like, oh, he's finally really understanding what his place is in this company.
I think it's his lariat. I think the way he hits that lariat, it really hits now. There's a funny clip from this match of him hitting
the best part.
hitting the lariat, and Red Shoes is like throws almost like a fist bump in the air.
Yes.
So funny.
The best part of the match, Red Shoes he don't care about nothing ever. This guy genuinely reacted to his son hitting Zack Sabre Jr. with the lariat, and it's beautiful. It's wrestling at its best.
Yeah, but I mean, I think like that combination of moves he does now to finish the match now, the Busaiku knee and then the second chapter, I think it works for him. I've been saying that since he started doing it, going into the New Japan Cup. I think that works better than what he was doing before. It feels like his own thing. It works better than him doing the Death Rider and doing a version of somebody else's move. Yeah, this is kind of a version of somebody else's move, doing Busaiku knee, but he's made it his own.
Yes, exactly. That's the major role. Is it now feels like him? It doesn't feel like he's doing a tribute act to someone else.
Yeah, but this match was very good. I was surprised how good this match was. Zack Sabre starting the tournament slow, picked up 2 losses. His only 2 points up to night 4 was because of forfeit.
Yeah, I thought that I do like the way that they kind of have mystery in their booking of their tournament. Because like if I looked at this class and I was booking it, I would book it a completely different way than they do. And like the way that they had Zack Sabre Jr., I probably would have started off different because he's the champion, but it plays into what the story is going to be.
Yeah, I like the story coming in that Zack won the tournament last year. So everybody is trying to make a statement by beating him. And he's the champion. And so it means more to beat him now. And, based on the reception to their match at Wrestle Kingdom, I think both of these guys had something to prove in this match. And they came out and put on a much better match. And Shota Umino picked up the win. He's still trying to dispel some of the ghosts from last year and his loss at the Dome. I think, like I said, this tournament has been much better than his last appearance in the G1. There's still some wonky booking decisions with him, but I do think he's been wrestling better overall.
That's what I was going to say. In ring, I think he looks great. I think his strikes have been great. He feels more confident, and I think he's getting it at that part. There's still confusion as to what he is as a character and what he's going to be moving forward. But that's something this tournament's going to help with that too, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's still wild just looking at the tournament now, looking at looking at the points at who is at the top of both sides. This is, of course, going to change.
Yes.
Like I said, Oleg is tied for first place in Block A with 6 points. Hiroshi Tanahashi has 4 points. He's in the tie with Taichi, Ryohei Oiwa, Yu Amura, and David Finley's right behind the pack, 2 points, tied with Sonata and Cal Newman. In the B block with 8 points, Yoshihashi is leading the pack. Yoshihashi has 8 points, guys.
Yeah. Every time I go to do my G1 recap and I see that Yoshihashi's cooking, I'm like, I don't know what timeline I'm reading, but it's happening. And like all the matches, he's like, no, he's not fucking around, Phil. He came to win this tournament.
Yeah. Yoshihashi picked up a big win to make it into the tournament and then showed up with 8 points to start the tournament. Now, of course, because of the way the G1 works, usually the guys that start hot start to taper off towards the end. So I don't expect Yoshihashi to remain at the top of the B block. But the fact that he's got this hot start with with 8 points is crazy.
And hilarious, because I think his opponents keep going in like, it's just Yoshihashi. What the fuck this nigga gonna do? But then he gets the victory, though.
Yeah. People sleeping on Yoshihashi.
It's great.
Red Narita is right behind him, also with 8 points. Red Narita has been attempting to show more of what people initially saw in him. There's less shenanigans with him. We saw that in the match with Shota from last night. And that's been kind of a overarching theme throughout the tournament, that at least he's winning more of his matches clean. I still wish they would just go with what I initially liked about Ren Narita, him just doing the holds and doing like the strong style stuff. But we'll see where the storyline is leading with him. It seems like they're trying to tease something here.
I thought that was an interesting kind of story of that match last night, of Shota being like, no, I'm not going to let you do the House of Torture shenanigans. You need to get real with this. And he's also kind of in a character transition. So really good story between the two of those guys. Those guys are really talented.
Yeah. Drilla Maloney has 6 points. He's in a tie with Konosuke Takeshita, Great Khan, and of course Shota Umino. Zack Sabre Jr. has 4 points following his match and last night against El Fantasma. That's the match that I was referencing. Very, very good match. These guys have great chemistry together. I think that this was probably El Fantasma's best showing, not just in his tournament, but in quite some time. I thought this was the best match he's wrestled in a while.
I'm sure people of this podcast have seen this slap heard around the world. Oh my God, Zack Sabre Jr. slapped El Fantasmo's ear off at one point. Crazy. Just violent. I've watched that slap probably 25 times, and I'm just like, don't do, like, if I was in the ring, we're fighting after this. Like, are we beefing? Like, what's going on here? Just absolutely destroyed him. This is the type of thing that I love about El Fantasma in this tournament, of the style, because he wrestles a style that I like, and it's kind of like a palate cleanse on some of these matches, because a lot of them are just two guys in the middle of the ring beating the shit out of each other, and he adds this kind of different element where he'll fly, he'll do these type of things, but then he'll also get mixed up in that because he's a master of many styles, you know?
Yes. Zack Sabre finally picked up a win here to make his total 4. He's tied with El Fantasma. El Fantasma put on a great match here. I thought he looked amazing all the way to the end. Zack Sabre picked up the win, but LP proved something. He shook his hand afterwards, got the respect of the champ. Also, I think I've seen this guy. I can see this guy in New York now. And so it is funny that this was the match that he proved to people, like, man, this guy's a great wrestler, which, I mean, most people already knew that. It just feels like with LP in particular, people keep expecting him to step up to this next level.
I mean, I think they're kind of fully waiting for this from junior heavyweight to heavyweight transition. Like, can you really compete in the heavyweight division? Can you really keep up with the big dogs? And he's been showing that he can.
Yes. I thought this was one of the better matches from night 6 on a very good card of matches. We also got like you said, Ren Narita versus Shota Umino. The story here, Shota and Umino was trying to wake Ren Narita up and remember who he is. Of course, both of these guys are current Gen 3 Musketeers. So Shota, as the guy that wants to be the face of this company and a leader for the company moving forward, I thought it made a lot of sense to do this story here.
Right. And this is again where I reiterate that Shota strikes in this. When the moments he's trying to get Ren to fucking be into this and he's throwing these forearms, I'm like, no, Shota finally gets it. He's playing the role that a couple of guys in this journey for him have been playing as the vet. Like when he was in the matches with Mox, this is how Mox was acting with Shota. When he was in the matches with Tanahashi, these are how they were acting with Shota. Like when he was in the matches with Zack Sabre Jr., it's like you got to get to this point of forgetting about the bullshit, getting down to brass tacks. It's going to be in the middle of the ring. You're going to have to outstrike a fool. You're going to have to outwit a fool. You're going to have to outdo all these things. And if you're stuck in this house of torture shit, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Ren Narita did surprisingly pick up the win. I did think some of the disconnect in this match was the style that Ren Narita is wrestling now. I think Shota wrestled a better match, and it sometimes there's a bit of a disconnect. But overall, I really like the story that they told in this match.
Yeah, you just see the flashes of brilliance in both of those. Like them, I think they're showing that Ren could potentially get back to where we want him to. But the House of Torture shit is just looming.
Yeah. The story stuff, I love the dramatic stuff, like Shota standing on the push-up bar and looking down at him, like, I'm not going to let you use this as a crutch to win. I really enjoyed that. And he picked up the win.
Japan spot.
Yes, very New Japan spot. Yeah, he picked up the win anyway. Match of the night, probably match of the tournament. Easily probably one of the best matches this year. Konosuke Takeshita versus Shingo Takagi. My God, this match was amazing.
No one here is surprised. This is one of the matches we saw on the tournament, and we're like, oh, that's going to be it. It's funny because Takeshita gives Shingo vibes. Like what the Shingo that used to work in Dragon Gate and would come over to America, like that's Takeshita. So like it makes so much sense that these guys have great chemistry together. They throw the kind of same strikes, they destroy people, they got the big lariat. So like seeing these two guys clash was well wanted. Like you're saying, Phil, Takeshita, I think I'm fully on the Takeshita train at this point. Like seeing this performance against Shingo and seeing how he's been working and doing the after match promos, I'm like, oh, this guy wants to win this fucking thing.
Yeah, at the very least, he's going to be in the finals. He still might pick to win, but I don't see a world where he's not in the finals.
Right. Just incredible performances, and this one was like, oh, this guy is not only going to win this tournament, but he might be world champion.
Yeah, this was really, really good. The strikes, the near falls here. I really like the finish of it. Yeah, like I said, I think this is one of the best matches I've seen this year.
Takeshita did it again.
This guy just incredible wrestler.
Hell, man.
Shingo as well, just really, really great wrestler. That pumping bomber he hit Takeshita with and completely wiped him out. I was like, yep, I think that's it. I think we're done. Somehow he kicked out of that, which I don't know how he did, but I was like, yeah, that looks like it's it. I'll see you later, guys. Yeah,
two tremendous fucking talented people. I'm interested to see what they do with Shingo at Forbidden Door because like he needs a big match this year.
Yeah, I think we've got to see him in a one-on-one match,
right?
One of these cross-promotional shows soon. It's just crazy we haven't seen it yet.
Because all the wrestlers, like every year, he's like, this is who I'd like to wrestle. This is who I'd like to wrestle, and all the wrestlers are always like Shingo. Like it feels like both sides are always into this, but it never happens. So do it this year against Swerve.
Yeah, go out of your way to see this match if you have not yet, guys. Shingo Takagi versus Konosuke Takeshita from night 6. We've got night 7 coming up in the morning because there's always wrestling on.
Never stops.
Yota Tsuji will be taking on Bolden Oleg in A block. David Finlay will be taking on Callum Newman. Taichi versus Sonata, Evil versus Yuya Uemura, and then the main event will be Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Ryohei Oiwa. They did some teasers for the main event last night, the tag match. Tanahashi, man, what a guy! What a guy! Just him in the ring with Oiwa, and they're doing like their stare down and going back and forth and talking trash. Really good stuff.
Yeah, seeing Tanahashi still cooking here. The like you said, the wrestlers have caught up to his shenanigans and ain't letting him get his shit off anymore. But he's still very much out there. He's still on this retirement tour, and it looks like he's having a great time. That's the best part.
Was I there for that match?
Which one?
Shingo Danielson. Was that Forbidden Door? That Forbidden Door last year?
Was it Forbidden Door last year?
I believe it was because I think I was there for that match, and I all throughout that match I was like, this guy has like neck issues, and he like, yeah.
That was the match. I was like, oh yeah, Shingo don't give a fuck about them neck issues.
Yeah, that was last year. Thank you, chat.
Okay,
bro, that match I completely forgot. I've blanked because I've watched a lot of wrestling in the past year. I've been to a lot of wrestling shows in the past year.
Bryan Danielson.
That's right. I was there for that match, and yeah, Shingo was beating this guy down. I forgot. Hitting him very hard, dropping him very soundly on his neck. And this is a guy that has a history of neck injury.
It's great, though.
It's a very good match. I was like,
so good.
I don't think you need. It's all right.
We would have been all right without the neck drops, but they can't.
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot about that now because there were several spots in that match. I was like, ow, oh no.
Damn, that was a fire ass match. It's been too much wrestling that you forget about amazing moments like that.
Yeah. Fun tournament so far, other than the downer of Gabe Kid not being able to take part. I do think this is leading to something big with Gabe and Takeshita once Gabe can go. But hopefully he'll be back soon.
Yeah, because there's a lot of plans, I'm sure, that are surrounding him for the rest of the year. We're in dome season and all those things. Like, we need him here representing, and he's a champion too. So, like, what's up?
Yes. Yeah,
that's G1.
I just keep thinking of Gabe in our interview where he's just like, Takeshita, you fucking idiot.
Such a good interview. They got to blow that off, man. I hope that he has a speedy recovery, man. And fuck, missing out on the G1, man. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I think the blessing in disguise in this is that he did get the moment with Takeshita in opening night, and you did get that great visual of Takeshita rolling out of the ring after he beat him, and Gabe Kid waking up after he passed out and being furious, and yeah, so you got so much stuff to play off of now,
right?
Send us in your super chats. That is the best way to get your chats read on this very podcast. We've also got some Humper chats left to get into. You can send us a Humper chat, humperchats.com/Fightful.
Definitely. We got a couple of super chats. I don't know how many Humper chats we got before we move forward, so let's get into those. Bulletproof Trash Bag says Tessa will be a NASCAR gimmick in WWE. Get it? I don't.
Tessa will be a NASCAR. Oh, yeah.
He said, oh, yeah. I don't know what's happening with Tessa Blanchard.
They're still giving her she's a racist chance. That match from TNA Slamversary was not well received. I've seen a lot of people saying how bad it was. Yep. Yeah, because I think at least the thing you can hang your hat on with Tessa since she's been back with TNA, she was having good matches. I thought the Jordan Grace match was very good. I mean. Really, really good match, and she's had other good matches. This one doesn't seem like it's on the list of those good matches.
Nope. Nope. Yeah, she was just moving through like she didn't give a fuck about none of the stuff, and I think if she continues to move through like that, it's gonna work out for her. So we'll see. The homie Matt C says thoughts at Alfredo 2. We got into Alfredo 2 talk earlier. We both think it's a tremendous album off of one full listen. I think it's great. I think the production's insane. I think all the raps are great. The Jid feature is probably my favorite. Like, it's a really good album.
Really, really good album. Really, I mean, start to finish, production is really, really great. The 1995 record I've had on repeat multiple times, and then the last song on the album with the flutes is also hard. Like, yeah, great album.
We're having another. This one's more quiet than I think last year, but great year of hip hop. Like, I think there's so many. The rappers that are rapping and putting their albums out all have been putting out heat. There's so many great records. Phil and I still have been on the Saba record. Like, the Overcast record is great. Dope. There's so many really under the radar dope hip hop albums this year.
Bro, when I tell you, and the compendium of other songs that pop in my head that I sing all the time is the Big Picture record from Saba. Love that record.
Great. That when I run that back, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of great albums out, but this one like feels the most like,
bro, that and
close to me. I don't know,
bro, that and that transition from the Reciprocity record into Stompin'.
Stompin'.
Man. Stompin', bro. That album is hard, bro.
Stompin' is fucking crazy. That song is so good. Man, but yeah, Alfredo, amazing, great record. Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist fucking destroyed it. Appreciate that, Matt. And then Love for Boost says WWE is donating the proceeds of Hogan's merch to his family, not a charity. That company is morally bankrupt.
Well, I mean, that's pretty on board for things to do after a wrestler's passing. It just looks bad with other things tied to this guy. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not super surprised that WWE is going to do that. Like, I knew they were going to do some kind of like them doing a tribute. All this is like, yeah, it's fucking Hulk Hogan, of course.
Yeah, I definitely will not be buying any Hulkamania merch.
Never have and never will.
I have never owned any Hulkamania merch. Not for me.
I mean, I've owned an NWO shirt, so I guess I'm sure he got paid for that. That's important.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like NWO is kind of different.
Like it was, I didn't buy the NWO show for Hogan, so you know.
Yeah, NWO is that shirt is one of the biggest shirts, but that's again getting into that guy's heel turn and what that did for the business, how that changed things for WCW, how that ignited a complete shift in tone for the entire industry, started the Attitude Era and everything. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, you get into this guy's career, this guy pretty big moment.
Far as things you can't take away, because there's the story of there were other guys that they considered. Like they considered Sting. Bret Hart was in the running at one point. Mabel was in running to be the third guy, is a funny thing. But that none of this would have worked without Hogan. It had to be it had to be Terry. He's the biggest fucking star of what he represented, and he hadn't been heel like that. It had to be the guy, and the reason and it being him made it even bigger than it would have ever been. So we can never take that away from him.
Yeah, I mean, he needed it at that point in his career because he felt outdated. He needed a change of pace, and being again next to two really cool guys and Hall and Nash that helped him.
And as far as like funny Hogan lore, like this guy would be on the show with like a do-rag on, like a spray painted black beard. Like this guy is, bro, this guy's doing bits.
Very unintentionally funny guy.
Gigantic baggy pants. It's like, what is this outfit?
It's funny every time I see them replay the heel turn. He comes out like everything is the same, and the way he sells the leg drop and the way he's like moving in the ring, all very funny. The way he talks in their promos, just so funny, man.
I just thought about the Jeezy clip again when it first starts. He plays it once and then he stops, and then when he restarts it and he looks back and forth to like see if anybody's listening to him, is the like I've rewind just that part of him looking back and forth like 1,000 times. It's so fucking funny to me.
Bro, him stopping him trying to repeat the lyrics and stopping it and doing like this little shakes his head a little bit, rewinds it. Like, nah, I think we got it. Then he pulls off, bro. Fucking hilarious, bro. What
The fact
funniest
that
things ever.
the hook comes in like 5 times on that song, but he has to rewind it to the beginning to learn it.
Count 100's on the table, 20's on the floor.
And I love it.
Bro.
So good, man.
Shout out to Jeezy, man. That second Jeezy album also classic, bro. I mean, first album also classic.
Life was different when that Jeezy came out. Way different.
I knew how big Jeezy was when they kept referencing it on Good Kid, Mad City. And that with the last time I checked, I was the man in these streets.
Mm-hmm. When that Snowman shirt hit the streets, I was like, "What?
Yep.
I don't know if we should be a part of this."
Massive, bro.
Life was so different, man.
You had to be there, bro. Massive, bro.
When those shirts are going on, they started the stop snitching movement. I was like, what are we doing here, you guys?
Yeah.
DGK, Dirty Ghetto Kids, like we've changed.
Definitely changed.
Okay, we have one more super chat actually. The homie Ardua says, "Happy Grapsody. Y'all got any insight on who has put a blood curse on the gun club? Cause like, goddamn, yeah, I don't know what is going on with the homies in the gun club. You guys know how excited I was to see the homies back, but apparently the homie Colton Gunn got injured at the collision taping and is going to be out, so they're not going to be in full force for now. It's a very unfortunate situation for these guys."
Yeah, I feel bad for them. I think people got excited because Colton was announced for an indie show, and then Austin had to come out and say, "Nah, we're definitely not back, guys."
Yeah, Austin was like, "No, it's not going to be us at full force. We have to get a fourth for Colton." So speedy recovery for Colton too. This is unfortunate. I don't know if you guys saw that clip. Fightful and a couple other places posted it, but the video of them right before Juice goes out at All In,
so great.
And Juice is like that surprise when he hears the pop that he got and he looks around so surprised. I fucking love that video.
Yeah, Austin and Colt's like in the background. Austin's like doing push-ups. They're like, "Let's go, bang bang, brother."
So good, man. Beautiful, and that's unfortunate that Colton's is injured. So hopefully he gets right back to it.
Yeah. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Fucking injuries, man.
Yeah, we got some humper chats here. More from Tony P. He says, maybe Bailey will be doing something with Cardi. The rest of the show was, to quote Cresta, sports confusing. For real. It's been like that for a few weeks with SmackDown. Hell, Raw was a mess of a show as well. I fell asleep during it and learned I missed nothing. Yeah, well, I told you guys I was watching Fantastic Four last night. So
I did hear about that the TLC 2 announcement though. That's pretty cool. That should be pretty fire.
Yeah, I'm glad that the tag teams will be represented on the pay-per-view this time. I'm glad that they learned the lesson from WrestleMania, because I felt that the TLC match earlier this year, which was very good, should have been on WrestleMania card. So I'm glad that these guys are all making SummerSlam card. 6 teams in there. That's a lot of teams. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Crazy as hell. But I have been seeing a lot of people saying that TLC with them a few months ago is their favorite WWE match of the year. So it makes sense that they're all running it back on pay-per-view. But be careful, brother. That's a lot of people that are gonna be out there. A lot of bodies.
I would agree with that. I think it's that match, the women's triple threat from WrestleMania, and probably Vikingo versus Chad Gable for me.
Yeah, they have some heavy hitters out there this year.
Yeah. Tony P says Dynamite was confusing too, but fun. I feel like there were ideas for Forbidden Door that seemed to have gone up in smoke. TBD with injuries and or G1 outcomes. We got the great tag match out of FDR and Jet Speed. I wonder if some New Japan Junior tags will be put in a tag tournament. Buddy, the way that I laughed at something that probably wasn't even that funny or shouldn't have been that funny. But the way that I laughed when they put that tournament bracket up and there were no names in the bracket, I was fucking dying. I was sitting in bed, coughing my head off, dying laughing. I was like, "There's no names in the bracket, though. Why did they put this bracket on TV with no names in it?"
Because they're doing a surprise release, Phil. That is really funny. You sit there being like, well, where are the names at, though?
Bro, why? But what's the point of putting out a bracket if there's no names on it, though?
It's a mystery to you. It's a mystery to me. I was like, okay.
Oh my God, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now you know, because coming off of Colton, there was some news this week that they were like, oh, the Guns were supposed to be a part of this and maybe a big part of this. So I'm sure that it took some restructuring, but still putting the bracket out with nothing on it is interesting choice.
Yeah, we did get the first quarterfinals on Wednesday. Jet Speed versus FDR. Good match. Good start to this tournament. I just wish I knew what to look forward to because I don't know what the next few matches are going to be. Hopefully, we're getting an announcement soon for the rest of the bracket.
I've been trying to make the brackets myself and figure out which teams could be in this, and there's some places to go. Having FTR in it is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Young Bucks going to be in it? Like, what is this? Like, what is this going to represent? I thought the match on Wednesday was awesome and exactly what needs to kick off this tournament because it's going to show us what this is about to be about. We know that FTR are going to play a big role in this. Jet Speed have been having a great run. But, like, what is this going to be? What's it going to represent? Where are we leading to? They made it even more confusing to me after the match, Phil, when Cope came out. And then he's like, oh, actually, I got the Hurt Syndicate to beat you guys up.
That was weird. I didn't understand why they were with him. Cope is very much a babyface. They've been heels for months. Why did they do that? That was weird.
Then I was like, I started thinking to like, maybe you're thinking too deep, Reg. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, because the Hurt Syndicate, they beat anybody up. But I'm like, Max is in their team. He's a fucking heel, dude. Max is there. He's a heel. There's no getting around that.
Maybe like they're just trying to sell what's just business, like, and they were hired, so they just did business. But it was kind of jarring. I didn't really get it.
Yeah.
Remind me, have they announced the finals for this? Where's the finals going to take place?
I don't. Maybe on the bracket, but I don't. I thought they were just saying for a title shot later in life.
I mean, just like the finals for this tournament.
Maybe on the bracket.
Yeah. Well, as we said, the bracket was a bit scant when it came to information. Because I'm wondering with the way they're setting the tournament up. Are we potentially going to see Cope Christian in this tournament?
Oh, because if All Out is playing a role in this,
yeah.
But would you put them in this tournament? Is my question.
I don't know. I think they've kind of booked this very strange. I don't know. The way that it was announced, everything around it has been kind of weird.
It's so funny because I want a tag team tournament bad. We've talked about them putting more emphasis on the tag team tournament, but it seems a little bit complicated. And then like the Hurt Syndicate are also the tag team champions. So like I was just confused. They presented them as baby faces because they're coming to fight FTR, who are heels. And then you had them do the thing later in the night where they essentially said they want Max out of the group, which is another babyface thing. So, like, if you're going babyface, I understand, but also I still don't really understand. It's happening so fast, I think, is the thing, because I thought we've been stretching out the Max and Her Syndicate story for a little bit, and I like the way that they've been doing it. Like, I don't think we need to rush anything. It feels like they were just like, actually, we're at the end now the other day. I mean, they didn't completely kick him out, but even the way that MVP looked at him at the end, like, I don't know, it felt jarring, like you said.
Yeah, I did really like that segment. I did
Yeah.
think that fit perfectly with Max's character,
Mhm.
Max being selfish. All of this has been for him to have the numbers game when he tries to challenge for the championship. And so when he comes in there and he's yelling at everybody and everybody's looking at him like, what are you talking about? And in the middle of an interview at that, and they had to stop their interview, like, well, hold on. Which I thought that the way that was played as well was great. They stopped the interview and everything. They didn't say anything to anybody. MVP just was like, yeah, give me your belt. And then he immediately hemmed Max up. I was like, God, that was great. And then, very big guy, very scary guy. Bobby hemming him up and saying, I don't like this. We're not your muscle. I don't like you. I'm voting you out. Gives him the thumbs down. Sheldon walks past him, shakes his head at him. And even MVP seemed disappointed. So I don't know what this means. Is he officially out? I assume we're getting more stuff next week, but so far so good. I think the MJF and Hurt Syndicate stuff has been really good.
And that shit got me super excited for a potential him and Bobby match, like him and him up and all that. I was like, okay, like this could. I didn't know where this was going, and I liked all directions. If this is leading to a big match with them, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I did feel like even though I was initially planning to go to this Dynamite and I didn't go, I was sitting at home like, oh well, doesn't seem like I missed much.
Yeah, no, this is okay one.
In comparison to the last week's episode. There's a lot of filler on this episode. There was a lot of stuff on this episode that I was like, now you're going with this. What's happening? We got Ospreay coming out and announcing that he has to take some time off due to injury, which I had assumed after the way that they attempted to write him off at All in Texas. And at first, I was a little bit worried because we just got the Adam Cole announcement. So when he was walking down the hallway with the look on his face, I was like, And then when he started talking about it, I was like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
It was more like kayfabe. All right.
But at first, it was like, you guys don't do this to us. Like, I don't know where you were leading us. Like, it was a roller coaster of emotions because we had just seen that, and these injuries recently are kind of fucked up. So at first, I'm like, damn, what is this fool gonna say? How long is he gonna be at? Then he's like, oh, I'm gonna be back by Forbidden Door. We're like, oh, okay, I got you. Like, you're really scaring the shit out of us there, Ospreay. We didn't know what to expect or where this was leading, but it's not that bad.
My man said he had 2 herniated discs. Well, I'll be out for 6 weeks. I'm like, wait a minute,
right?
So yeah, it just feels like this is just a kayfabe way to get him off TV to recover for some other injuries, and some other things maybe. But I was definitely worried with the look on his face walking down the hallway. I was like, oh no.
When he started talking about the herniated disc too, I'm like, that doesn't sound good. He's like, oh no, I'll be back though. I'm like, okay, good joke, you little guys. But I mean, with this style and stuff, I believed it. He does need a month or 6 weeks off or something. Let him go.
He's been going hard.
And he's going to be back by the big show, so we're fine.
Yes. But the bigger news coming out of the show was Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley. Hangman opened the show with that brutal match against Yuta. Beat the snot out of this guy, bloodied him up, got him right up out of here. And Yuta has been one of the main troublemakers on this table. So I was like, oh, that's how we're starting this reign off. Like, yeah, like get this guy out of here. I'm done with these Death Rider guys. Like,
he's been nipping at Hangman's heels for the entire time. Every moment of Hangman being the number one contender for that championship, every time he turned his back, fucking Yuta was there, fucking him up. Almost cost him the match at All In. Like, one thing he needed to do to really solidify this reign was beat this guy's ass. So coming out on Wednesday, destroying him, bloodying him up, showing him that he's showing no remorse for these Death Rider guys, I think was a good way to start. It was good bait for Jon Moxley because it led to them setting up a title match with them later in the night.
Yes. Mox cut a promo backstage later in the night. This guy loves a good promo in a dark, seedy area of the arena where he gets to stand by something. Him standing by that big pipe with Waukegan, Illinois on it,
Yeah.
with Marina next to him. And he was, it was a great promo. I think that his
Was.
promos for the past month or so have been really good.
Yeah.
But his point essentially is like, you beat me, but you're not really a world champion. What are you, a world champion because you hold that belt? That'll make you champion. I was sitting there like, I think it does, but I feel you.
Yeah. He's still trying to tell the same story that he was telling going into the match of like, no matter what, you're still not going to be a champion though. Like no matter what the story says or what anybody says, are you truly going to be the champion behind that belt? And this time you're kind of capping a lot, Moxley, because we've seen him be champion behind this belt for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Why you need to belt? It's still one of my favorite things ever when he does the close-up interview. Why you need to belt, huh? What do you need to belt for?
Love that Moxley voice.
Every time I think about him, it's so funny. Why you need to belt? It's so funny. But yeah, he cut a good promo, and his point really is like, yeah, you say you want to be the champion, but can you lead this place? Can you make the decisions I make? Can you really bring this out of people like I managed to do? And I thought that really drove home what the Death Rider storyline has been. And also, I really like the idea because everybody's been like, okay, but why would you do a rematch if you've already done a Texas Death Match? Because the Texas Death Match is usually the way you end the feud. That's usually the blow off match. But I really like the idea that Mox here is just like, nah, you beat me with some help. You got some guys to come out here. You now you think because you're holding the belt, you're the guy. And then at the same time, Hangman's like, okay, you and me, 1-on-1, no interference, none of this other stuff you've been doing for almost a year, just you and me. None of the rest of this stuff, none of the shenanigans, none of the weapons, just you and me in a fight. And I was like, that's kind of perfect because the pay-per-view was built around all of the extra stuff, all of the run-ins and stuff. So that is the logical way to get a rematch. And that's the only way to finish off this story is just these guys going 1-on-1.
Oh, it's like that. They just flipped it essentially. Like instead of going with the big plunder blow off match, they're reversing. They already did the big plunder. So like, let's do the opposite of that. Like, let's take away. Everybody's banned from ringside. There's no weapons. It's just going to be man versus man in the ring to see who's the best. I think it's a great way to tell the story for both of these guys because Mox is going to show that, yes, I have needed Death Riders this whole time. That might be the way for them to, if they are going to Bryan Danielson him, this is the way to do it. If he shows like without you got, I need you guys. And that's exactly how they get him out of this. Shows that Hangman's a badass, doesn't need nobody, can beat this guy 1-on-1 and solidify himself as a champion. I think this is a really good way to do this match. I didn't think it was gonna happen so quickly, but I do like that it's happening so quickly.
Yeah, I think it's a good way straight after we're all in Texas to have the 6 shows in Chicago lead to a big match by the 5th show.
Yeah.
And to give, the residency a big AEW championship match, and you've got the story built in here. And I love that they've kind of crystallized what is the story been between Mox and Hangman since Hangman won the Owen Hart Cup. I think that's worked well. I do think some people, of course, are not going to be happy because the discourse when Mox came back immediately right after the pay-per-view, I'm sure some people are like, why are we immediately doing this match again? But I think it's an easy match to build this quickly in 3 weeks and then have a big match to end this residency because you needed a big title match. And I think I would prefer them taking the storyline and building upon it for 2 weeks to get to this match instead of just giving him a random flavor of the month match at the end of this residency just for the sake of.
Just like we have to have Hangman, let's put him on there in the title match, blah blah blah. Now them being able to do this, and I think we need to fully get Hangman away from the Death Riders because, like at the end of the show in the last 2 weeks they've shown, Darby is trying to be the one to disband this group or trying to be the one to really put the nail in their coffin. So if we do this match with Hangman, let him cook, let him do this next week, and then Darby's really the one to kind of finish them off. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah, I really like the idea of Hangman as a good guy looking around like, well, I always wanted the one-on-one match anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't need help to beat you anyway. I've been saying I didn't need help. You're the one that needed help. And that's why all of these other people felt like they had to help me to even the odds. Now that I've beat you, this is what I wanted anyway. You acted like I was reluctant to take that Texas death match. You and I both knew that wasn't true. But are you going to get in this match without any of your friends?
Yep. I love that when Hangman gets to still look like that. Like, you always in those dark, seedy rooms talking all that shit in some dark corner, trying to do your thing and your ominous fucking movie villain thing. But like, are you going to be able to pull up without your squad? Like, their band, is it going to be Moxley and the Death Riders, or is it going to be the real Moxley? And can that guy beat me? Hangman does not think so at this moment.
Yeah. I love the way they've used Hangman as champion so far too. He feels like the face of the company. He feels like the biggest baby face on the brand right now.
That thing, like you were saying, he started the show again. Like they have him as like, when this AEW, here's the brand. This is our guy right out the gate.
Yeah. Having Hangman start and close the show cements that he's the guy.
Yep.
He's the guy that you should be paying attention to. He's the main character on the show. And I think like that's been missing with some of the babyface champions.
Right.
Mox has been all over the show for weeks. So it hasn't been missing with him. I mean, Death Riders have been the main act on the show for a long time.
Even on this show, like I was talking during the watch along, I was telling Denise, I was like, I think the Death Riders have been mentioned in every segment. Like if it was them, Statlander's talking about them, like they had a segment themselves. Like everybody that came on this show was like, fuck the Death Riders, or we're down for the Death Riders. And it's still like that.
Yes. The stuff from Collision on Saturday that I keep thinking is really funny about Marina. Marina is always the one that kicks it off every freaking time. Coda's sitting there on commentary, minding his own business. She pops up out of nowhere behind him and hems him up, and then all of them jump him. It's always her. She always kicks it off, and then the rest of them start swarming.
I feel like every time they're walking up, they're like, now, Marina, we're going to look at the situation, assess everything, and then we'll move accordingly. And she's like, fuck all that. I feel like she just like, every time she pulls up, it's over. As soon as I get up, I'm going to choke this little Coco Band out, and it's going to be over. I'm not going to pussyfoot around like the rest of you guys.
Marina be sitting there like Smokey, man, let's jump him.
every single time, man, let's jump him. Why are we waiting? Good segment, bringing back Coca Band. I didn't know that was going to be a thing, but it being in Chicago, that makes a lot of sense. You think it's a Coca Band tease, essentially, and they immediately bloody him and take him away. I think it was a good way to build heat on them, even though they have hella heat.
Yeah. Yuta doing the social media post with his white shirt on, and then he tagged the blood on his shirt as Colt Cabana. Really good stuff.
Unbelievable.
What a great heel. Yuta's annoying in all the best ways possible. It's just like you keep wanting this guy to get his comeuppance, man. I think he's really the most successful heel from the group. He gets the most legitimate heat.
I think only person that is competing is Marina, but she don't be wrestling matches, so it works a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like if Marina was able to fully get her comeuppance like Yuta is, she would be on that place. But the fact that Yuta could be a shitty little heel and then somebody could get in a match and beat his ass, like that's what helps him be the one that I think like this group might have benefited him the most out of anybody that's in it.
I did think it was a interesting piece of symmetry that the last time that this guy was champion, he cut a certain workers' right promo in defense of Colt Cabana. This time as champion, when some guys jumped Colt Cabana, he immediately in Chicago, the next episode, beat the snot out of him.
Huh. Nice.
Very interesting. Nice piece of symmetry there. I don't know how much of that was intentional, but I noticed.
It worked.
I think it worked for
those
him.
dots were connected, brother.
I think that kind of like Nuance stuff works. I don't think we need to do like the direct inside baseball stuff all the time.
No. We need to be able to put the dots together, not you guys say out loud, look at the dots, like it doesn't.
Yeah. I thought it was a nice touch. I thought that Hangman not bristling at all of this. Like, no, I beat these guys. Like, we're not going backwards. I'm going to come out to start this show. I'm going to beat the shit out of this guy and get him up out of here. It ain't going to be none of this me struggling to beat him. No, I'm going to squash this fool and take this chain and beat the fuck out of him.
I like that. It's just straight up. I'm going to pull up. It's on site. I have been seeing some people being silly and like, AEW has a chance to do the funniest thing. And I'm like, stop it. Leave us alone. Like Moxley winning the championship back. Stop.
Oh, God, no. Please, no.
Please don't. That'd be the craziest. Like, I wouldn't believe my eyes if that happened.
Yeah, please no. please no. But yeah, that's exciting news. I
Chicago
missed the Dynamite this week. I'm gonna go to Collision tonight, and I will definitely be there for world title match.
Not hating, not jealous at all. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, somehow in a span of a month, I've gotten to see these two wrestle. Well, knock on wood, I might get a chance to see these two wrestle twice for the world title.
Looking forward to it. Pretty hot. I think they need to, like you're saying, it's very important for this residency to have a big, huge match to kind of cap it off. You need a big Dynamite moment, and this is that Dynamite moment.
Yes. We're still seeing some of the residency discourse, which I think is whatever. But these shows they still look great. I still think that the venue works. I think it's unique. That clip of Claudio standing in the hallway and that little foray thing and jumping down in the most dramatic way possible.
So extra.
All of this is very extra, man. Yeah. Guy, if any group was going to get the best out of the scenario and being able to roam the hallways and then come out into the crowd and get this kind of reception and like that intimate setting, it was the Death Riders. This is tailor-made for them.
Yeah, this feels like the only person utilizing it better, maybe Tony Storm, and what's happening with Athena, two of them kind of being in the balcony in the shadows, looming over what's going on. I thought the match with Tony and Billy Starks this week was super fun. Billy Starks is out of her mind, insane. Athena being constantly featured on these shows has been great.
Yes.
Her tonight against Alex Windsor in an ROH women's title match. I think all of this is amazing. Like, I can't wait to see what they do with her and Tony.
Yeah. Alex Windsor gave me the second big unintentional laugh of the week when she cut her promo and then she just screamed at the camera at the end, Windsor!
With her arms all like,
Windsor!
Listen, they stay comparing black wrestlers and what they look like. She looks so much like fucking Chris Statlander. When she came out for the save this week, I was like, oh, it's Chris Statlander. Why is she making the save? No, that's Alex Windsor.
No,
twins.
Windsor!
That's Windsor! They're twins and she's on her way. No, I think she's a tremendous talent, though. I like the way that she wrestles a lot. Really looking forward to the match with her and Athena tonight.
Yeah, that was very funny. Tony telling Athena, no, I'm the balcony bitch around here. Get down from there. That was very funny.
Get down from there. Yeah, all the stuff that they're doing with that is great. Her giving Billy Starks that really fun match this week. Just great for the women's division. All of it.
Yeah, Redmond, I think the explanation as to why she saved Tony was in her promo that I just referenced, where she was saying backstage that they have history when they worked overseas in the UK, and that's why she helped her. And I think they needed somebody to step in the spot for Mina because Mina's injured.
Right.
So twofold.
Damn, Mina's injured. Fucking injuries, man. Hate the shit.
Yeah, no. If nothing else, Redmond, you have to watch this backstage segment for the ending of it because it is hilarious.
At least for the Windsor, at least at minimum.
Hilarious, bro. But yeah, I like Alex. I liked her before she got to AEW. She was having good matches with Pro Wrestling Eve and some of the indie promotions.
Yeah.
I think she also wrestled like Tokyo Joshi Pro and did some other promotions. I liked what I had seen of her from other companies, so I think she's a good signing.
Yeah, she's super talented. She's adding a great thing to this women's division, and her kind of being locked in this little mini feud with Athena, I think is a perfect way to bring her in this.
That match is tonight, correct?
It's tonight, ROH Women's Championship. Is there a chance? I don't think they would do that on Collision, but crazier things have happened. They better not.
Athena losing on Collision.
Oh my God! You saying it out loud was like you can't.
I don't see it.
But again, we are seeing Athena on TV, and that's what we've been wanting for a long time. I'm sure both of those ladies are gonna fucking wreck it tonight.
Yes. Send us in your super chats. Best way to get your chat read on this very podcast. Got some Humper chats left. You can send us a Humper chat, humperchat.com/fightful. Okay, I read that one. We got another from Tony P. He says, for the women, it feels odd. As someone said, it feels like they are waiting for something or someone, especially with all these non-title stories they have made for a lot of them. One theory I had was possible blood and guts match for a lot of the women. I think that would be cool. I hope that they are going to do a big multi-women match, or this is setting up a tournament, something, because they've got enough women now where they could do something big like that. I did see Mercedes put out the call for wig specialists. That y'all got anybody that does wigs in Chicago? So I do think we're going to see Mercedes before this residency is over.
Let's go. Mercedes is so funny. She just had a match in Rev Pro, and she tweeted, I'm trying to sell my gear right now. I won't fit in my bag. If anybody has this amount of money, I'll sell it to you outside the venue. And I'm like, Mercedes is so
serious inquiries only.
She's so funny.
Serious inquiries only. Randomly just selling my gear.
So random. Who has money right now? I'll sell it to you outside. Her putting out her little magazine. The roles that she's been playing.
She's so
funny, amazing.
Man.
It's so great. That Instagram. You saw the Instagram thing that somebody was like, what did they say? I'm trying to bring so I'm trying to bring you back to WWE, maybe.
Oh. If you haven't seen it, and people were very upset at Mercedes,
I thought
it was hella funny. Mercedes has been doing like the IG post. So somebody was like, I'm ready for your fine ass to come back to WWE. And so she in response was like, I'm ready for your ugly ass to watch AEW.
I'm ready for your ugly ass to watch AEW. Killed me, dog. Like Mercedes real said this to a real person.
I thought that was
for your ugly ass to watch AEW. Fucked me up, dude. People see like they didn't expect that response. They were mad at her, but I thought that shit was so funny.
What if you've been following her? She does stuff like that all the time. I was so confused why people were surprised by that. Like I specifically remember somebody tweeted her and was like, oh, Mercedes is married? I didn't know she was taken. And then she responded like, oh, if you ever had a chance, stay broke. She tweets like that all the time. Why
all the time. That's her thing. She was hella funny though.
Hilarious, bro.
Go.
Yeah, nah. She's still outside. All of the belts. Showed up for a Rev Pro match. Man, what a flex to have one of your belts on as a holster to hold all your other belts. Hilarious.
Ridiculous.
Let's see. We have a few more upper chats. I got one from Daryl. He said, continue from his other upper chat. Like, dude, you got busted saying what you said. No remorse. Really, to those who said he was remorseful and separate the art when A, the apology should be as loud as a transgression, and B, he appears as his persona on stage with the Orange Goblin. Yeah. That's another part that I think people are not really taking into account when they say separate the art. This guy is using his character. He's using his celebrity as one of the most well-known wrestlers in the world to co-sign a really shitty person.
Mm-hmm. That art that we're talking about. He's using that art to do this, so it was hard.
That's what I'm saying. If you're talking about, well, objectively, he's one of the biggest stars to ever come out of wrestling, and yeah, he's using that stardom to co-sign a really trash person and help him get reelected.
Like, he wasn't on stage as Terry Bollea giving up the recommended. He was up there as Hulk Hogan giving that shit up. So
yeah. He did the ripped his shirt off and everything bit at a Trump rally. That's damn. Yeah, that was a wild week. That week where he came out at the RNC and did that whole speech, and it was right after the attempted assassination and everything. It was crazy.
Didn't like none of it.
Yeah, you didn't like him coming out and ripping his shirt off and having the Trump shirt under there. You like that?
Shit was nasty, brother. Very nasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't a fan. Keep it. We got another one from Tony P. However, I don't think so now. It seems like there's momentum, like their momentum stopped again. All I can see coming is Monday versus Asumi finally happening 1-on-1 for the strong title at Forbidden Door. But I don't know what else there is big happening for the women. Well, time to catch up on the G1 piece. I hope we see Sari. That's who I want to see at Forbidden Door.
At least, at minimum, that would be something very exciting match-wise for a number of people in the promotion. So I'd like to see that, but I want to see much more.
Yes. We have some more upper chat. Sorry. Had to refresh. Tony P is back with more. Oh,
yes.
He missed one of the other big talking points for the last weekend. He said, I missed my TNA rant. As a person that was falling out of love with wrestling in the early 2000s, TNA kept me in it. Seeing what it has become is frustrating. When I thought they were back on good footing, I was fine with JC winning the Knockouts belt. The Knockout division has been in shambles for a while, so I get her winning. The trick win, that was a major fumble. They built this up so much for their fans, having them feel like TNA was about to be back, and then that happened. TNA now just seems like NXT Dark. NXT Dark is crazy.
That's wild. That is
NXT Dark is crazy. TNA just now seems like TNA Dark. TNA needs a new creative team and stop doing the LOL TNA shit when booking. Also, what is with this fantasy invasion story some TNA Delulu fans are cooking up? I could see them turning on TNA too. If it doesn't happen, okay, now done. Yeah, we did get TNA Slamversary last Sunday at UBS Arena in Long Island. We previewed this card last week, and as we were previewing this card, I was like, okay, some of these matches look like they could be pretty good. I don't know that people are going to get what they expect out of this show, but this could be an all right show. Everything I've seen since Slammiversary has been incredibly negative online. I've seen some people that say they enjoyed the show, but yeah, a lot of very negative reactions to this show. As we talked about earlier, Tessa Blanchard versus Indy Hartwell got a very negative response. That star rating was yeah, that was a thing that happened. That was there's a moment in time.
Correct.
When I saw the star rating, I thought that I was misreading it. I was like, oh, okay. Dave, I believe, gave this a 1.5 star. Yikes. The cage match rating was not nearly as kind. So I saw some people saying that 1.5 star was generous, which ouch.
Yeah, pretty rough. I mean, when we previewed the card, I was like you, I was like, there's some stuff on here that'll be good to fine to good, and I think those things were fine to good. The ladder match, Phil. All I've been seeing is our friend homie AJ Francis jumping off the ladder feet first onto another ladder. I think I've seen that clip at least 500 times.
What was he doing? I was so confused by that. Why did he do that? That could have went really wrong.
He put out a tweet that's saying, look, this is what I was avoiding, saying he was avoiding the ropes. But if you watch Casey Navarro, who is also in the clip that does the correct bump, I'm like, your argument kind of falls apart when there's a guy doing the same thing that took the actual bump. I don't know. I think that it feels like he got nervous at the top of that thing and jumped and that's what happened. But crazy. I wouldn't have did it, but I'm not in there.
Yeah, it was yeah. I'm glad that didn't go terribly wrong.
He's okay.
That could have ended worse. Yeah, none of the stuff I've seen from the ladder match looked great. Of course, the joke people are making of Jeff climbing up the rope ladder and doing this dance on a rope ladder is hilarious. But then we got the tease of a tag match that I was like, wait, that's where we're going with this? After this match was over, the Hardys did retain. Bully Ray came out and challenged the Hardys to one last match with the Dudley Boys. One of the unintentionally funny bits of this was Bully came out and he referenced Devon, and the crowd started chanting Devon like he was going to come out. And they were like, where is Devon? And he's like, yeah, that's a good question. I was like, wait, you're trying to get a match with him though? Like, what? All right. So I don't know that this should be the way that you're pushing forward with your tag division, trying to push off of nostalgia for two tag teams that are essentially, well, one tag team is essentially retired.
Yes.
And then the other tag team, although they can still have good to solid matches, I don't know that you want that to be the main attraction of your tag division.
As someone who has those TLC matches and all that shit on my list, I love that shit. Like, that shit brought
we got
me
it.
to life. We got it. Like, if I want to see the Dudleys versus the Hardys, I'm opening up my computer and pulling up something from 20 years ago. I haven't been sitting here climbing like, I need one more fucking match with them that with the Hardys and the Dudleys right now to really put a hammer on it. I was saying on the internet, somebody watched All In, saw Cope and Christian rekindling their little relationship and was like, well, we have to capitalize on this too. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't have to at all. You don't.
Yeah.
You do not have to. And then I was like reading on Devon, and he had the stroke before and he's had the health issues. I'm like, I don't think we need this.
Devon's got two sons that are wrestling. You couldn't do something with that. I don't. Yeah. This definitely did feel like I think your tweet was like the light bulb came on when, and I was definitely like, yeah, nah, turn the lights off.
Turn all this off, dog.
No, you was about to give them the Teddy Peak. Yeah, turn them off.
Yeah. Turn it off, dog. Turn all this shit off.
Turn all them lights off, dog.
Need this. So yeah, by that point, Phil, the timeline was already talking on the show, and we were like, okay, but the least they're before that, shout out to the homie Leon Slater.
Yes.
And he did actually do it. He actually beat Moose for the X Division Championship. Then he got a big surprise. AJ Styles came out to pat him on the back and tell him that he did a good job.
I thought that was the moment of the entire show.
Yeah.
That was the right call. Leon Slater getting the big win over Moose. Moose showing him respect on the way out, and then getting the endorsement from AJ Styles, using AJ Styles' appearance on this show to put that kid over and give him the stamp of approval. That was great.
Good shit. Hot. I liked it all. Thought it was a great way. So yeah, by this point, Phil, we're like, Well, at least they're gonna stick the landing. Like, it doesn't matter what happened in the show. By the end of this show, they're in New York. Santana's gonna pay off. Hella people in the crowd. His family's here. It's gonna all work out in the end. We were lied to.
Yeah, I mean, other than the reception to the Tessa match with Indy not being great, she's still getting the "you're a racist" chant.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like the tide is really turning in her favor.
Mm-mm.
And then you're doing the angle afterwards where she got kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
Keep telling y'all where she's gonna show up, man. I keep trying to tell y'all.
I'm like, oh, she's suspended indefinitely, huh? Where's she gonna?
Where's she gonna go?
What about the? I know where she can go. They're waiting, Phil. They can't wait. This is their opening. They've had a few openings, but this is the easiest one.
Yeah. She's gonna be over there. She'll be over there. But
no doubt.
I mean, but that kind of adds to some of the negative buzz around the show.
Yes.
The negativity that's still around Tessa. And then, I said it. This was so funny because I did the predictions for Evolution with homie DS from Ring the Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And while we were doing it, we got to the JC Jordan Grace match, and I was like, JC's winning. And he was like, really? I said, duh, I think JC's winning. I think JC's gonna win. I think she's gonna go to Slamversary, and I think she's gonna win again. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And so I'm not shocked by any of this. No. And so people that are like, I can't believe they're doing this, because once they fast forwarded and they moved Stephanie Vaquer to the main roster, you've got to make JC seem like she mattered now, because she got a big upset over one of the biggest stars you had down here. You were building Stephanie to be like one of your biggest stars on the brand. She was a dual champion. You had JC get an upset win over her. She's the champion to beat now. And so it wouldn't have made any sense to do that and then have her lose straight away to Jordan. That just doesn't make sense. And you're not going to send Jordan backwards. You weren't going to put the NXT Women's Championship on Jordan just to have Jordan go back to TNA and wrestle on Slammiversary. That doesn't make sense.
Wouldn't have made sense at all. Yeah, the JC victory felt like the easiest one to me. I was like, yeah, she's going to go in here and do this, just because the lineage of that NXT Women's Championship and how they presented, and a lot of what you're describing here, Phil, they're not about to let her go and lose what they've built on this reign on TNA to a TNA wrestler, dog. No way.
No. They're building her up to lose to either Jordan or Blake.
Right.
This storyline is going to pay off on NXT. They're not going to have her lose to Masha. And Masha's great, but I just did not see it happening. I personally kind of wish they wouldn't have fast-tracked Stephanie so soon, because I think Stephanie versus Masha would have been fire. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. I don't know. It seems like there were less people upset about that match.
Yeah. I think that kind of flew under the radar, kind of because it was more expected, I think.
If anything, it felt like it was added in totality to the rest of the show, and the fact that all the NXT wrestlers won the big matches.
Right. Yes.
And so the main event in itself, I was wondering, like, what are we going to do? At this point, you got to give Santana the win. It's his home. It's his hometown. You've made a point to continue to emphasize that this is happening in New York. You're having him do all the press and stuff for this in New York. You're hyping this up like it's a big thing, and then he lost. I was like, wait.
It's so funny because going into it, remember, we were like, well, they put Joe Hendry in there.
Right. I thought Joe lost. I thought Joe was going to take the pin so Trick wouldn't get pinned.
Yeah, I like that.
I still thought Mike was going to win. Yes. Joe. So Joe took the pin still here. And Trick Williams won. They did the finish you hate.
I hate it.
And I was just like, I think that made it even crazier because I saw somebody else put this perfectly. You basically did like the television finish on one of your biggest shows of the year.
The biggest show of all. They're saying the most tickets. Like this is up there. One is supposed to be the biggest events that you've ever had.
Yeah, you did all of this stuff to build to this moment. And you did basically this like TV show match finish to keep the belt on Trick Williams, and that's how you end Slammiversary with Trick Williams walking out still as champion. And
when the homie came up to hold his arm up, Phil.
Carlos Silva afterwards holds his arm up. He's got the big TNA wrestling hat on. I was just like, what's happening? And I think the thing is this, because I see a lot of people say the usual crowd of let this play out. This could be, they're clearly booking a story here.
Bound for glory, is everybody saying. They're waiting to blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Right. But this is kind of the same thing I was saying when Roman won at WrestleMania 39. If he won in an interesting way and the cliffhanger got me interested in watching TNA moving forward, sure. But nothing about that ending was like, I got to tune in to TNA next week. No, this felt like, what? Why would they do this here and now? And then, like I said, it wasn't compelling enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm sucked in. I can't wait to see what happens.
That is the most important factor you just brought up, Phil, because a lot of people are saying that, oh, it's just wait for Bound for Glory. They're going to give Mike a bigger opportunity out of his home state. All these dumb excuses. And I'm like, okay, but the moment was, I'm never turning the show on again. Not, I can't wait to see, not, this is a great cliffhanger. I can't wait to see what happens on Thursday with this show. Like people were like, oh, I see so many people that are like, I'm watching TNA for the first time in this many years, haven't watched it since this, that we're laughing at the end of this. And that's not the response you want to have after your giant show.
Because I think an invasion angle can be good. And I think having Trick win could have been interesting. But I don't think the way it played out was that interesting. I don't think it really did anything to make me more interested in any of this. I found myself like Trick confused.
Trick beat both of your top guys. Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
What is this?
I'm sure, the takeaway is supposed to be that he pinned Joe. He didn't pin Mike Santana. So Mike Santana basically did lose here.
Right.
He wasn't pinned. The rematch is still going to happen. I just don't really understand, though, why you've got the moment in hand. It's the biggest show of the year. It's New York. It's his hometown. What am I missing? And I thought I was crazy at first. And then I saw Baron Corbin. I saw Baron Corbin saying, but wait, you had the moment there. And I was like, okay, so it's not just me. I was like, what? Why'd they do this?
Then Mike Santana came out and was like, yeah, it deflated the whole crowd. Yeah, because I think the crowd was waiting for you to fucking win this
thought
thing.
You were going to win. I don't get it. Trick then was on NXT this week. Well, sorry, before that, he was on Raw with the championship, which you can see is a good thing. TNA championship is getting exposure on Raw.
Wild.
But then you had him on NXT and he just got chokeslammed by The Undertaker. And I was just like, so wait, you just told me that two of the most over baby faces in TNA can't beat this guy, but this retired wrestler could just put him down with a choke slam? Why'd you do that?
One choke slam, no struggle. Trick just turned around. Trick just faked hit him, and he got choke slammed through the mat by this retired wrestler that now has a beer gut. Like, this sequence of events is crazy. You told us that essentially he's better than your two top stars because he beat them. Then Carlos Silva came down and held his hand up and was like, yeah, great job. And then the next day, he looked great on Raw, I thought. His promo was good. He has the belt. Like, your champion's being represented on that. And then the next day, they have him get chokeslammed and Undertaker and look like a geek. So what? I don't know.
I just don't understand why they did that. And everything about this is very confusing. And again, I'm seeing both sides of it. I've seen the negative response, but I am seeing a lot of people that are saying, well, you guys are just complaining too much. You got to let this play out. But I'm missing what's making this so interesting, though.
Me too.
I'm missing it. I don't think that this adds to anything. And I don't think that it's a good sign that the reviews for this show have been so negative.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be one thing if you did this invasion angle and he won and people were raving about the show and saying, all right, more of this. It doesn't seem like that's what people are saying.
Yep. And the I don't even know if I could call it the Romification, but this new forget the moment because there's a bigger moment or we're waiting. When you have the moment, but what about if you already have the moment? Why are you waiting to create a different one at a different time? Whatever that is now, Phil, I fucking hate it. Because this was the moment. Like, why are we getting to a bigger moment when this is the moment? This is the big moment. I'm confused.
I mean,
going on?
It's a pretty prevalent WWE tactic. They've done it multiple times, so not shocked, but
it works for them because they're fucking Pizza Hut, dude. I'm coming back to get pizza. If WWE does this, fine. I'm still the fan base is still coming back the next day. TNA doesn't have the gravitas to be fucking doing these big shows and being like, see what happens next. No, people are not.
Bro, you're
next.
going from a big market where you were promoting this thing as a big deal in New York.
Mm-hmm. In New York, dog.
To Lowell, Massachusetts for Bound for Glory.
Come on, man.
What do you mean?
What's when everybody was talking about Bound for Glory? I'm like, let me look up where Bound for Glory is. Bound for Glory is in fucking Louisville, dog. What the fuck do you mean a bigger moment? There's no way you can't. There's no way, no metric you could say this is a bigger moment. Zero metrics.
I can't, bro. Yo, it's crazy. In
his hometown, they're like, nah, fuck New York, dog. Louisville's where he's really gonna do it.
I can't, bro. I don't know. I don't know why they did that. I'm still so confused by the whole thing. Oh, yeah.
And then he came out and held his hand. I'm like, wait, dog, what are you doing out there? Get out of there. Get out of there.
What are you doing out
there? The
there?
big TNA hat. I'm like, dog, this doesn't look like I think you think it looks. I don't know, man. I don't know. I saw too many TNA faithfuls that like watch and were like, "This is the worst."
They were not happy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
a lot of TNA people felt like this is not benefiting the brand that they like,
and that's what got me. I'm like, I'll hear anything because WWE's on some shit, but the actual TNA fans being like, "What the fuck?" That's what was really like, "Oh, that probably wasn't the best idea."
Yeah. And I don't even think it's just the fact that they didn't give Mike Santana his moment.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, what are they doing with Joe Hendry? This guy was one of the most over guys you had, and like he's just losing now. And I feel like that's kind of the footnote of this, that he just got pinned in all of this, and it just means nothing.
He was the guy there to take the pin. Joe Hendry, this guy was the biggest star on their roster. This guy was for a while.
This guy was just at WrestleMania, as TNA World Champion at WrestleMania.
It's July. That was not that long ago.
I am so just confused by all of this. It's just baffling. I don't know. I saw Jarrett on, I think he was on his podcast where he was saying he doesn't understand what is the point of all of this. Like, where is this going? And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, where is this going? It's like, cool, you're getting exposure of doing a partnership with WWE, but what is the end goal to this?
Because I see everybody being like, after Slamversary, people are like, well, TNA needs to band together and they need to invade, but you wouldn't even know they were on the show on Tuesday, or if they're a part of this fucking partnership. Like this is the Trick Williams show. They don't like. I don't know. And then I keep seeing like Nick Nemeth is on Busted Open, so like he keeps doing these half kayfabe, half shoot things where he's like, "This shouldn't be happening," blah blah blah. But it's like, no, for reals, you guys need to like. TNA as a brand needs to do something about this because they're getting hoed out. This is crazy.
Yeah. Trick looked great. He came out with the homage to Booker with the robe and everything. He had a choir behind him. That video of him backstage and they're singing while he's celebrating and dancing with the belt is funny. But I'm just like,
he's not a TNA wrestler though. This ain't even his fucking brand.
I just don't get what the end goal is here. I don't understand.
Like if the goal is at the end of this, Trick Williams is over, you guys accomplished it. But if anything with TNA,
yeah, but he was already over.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's already over, and he's the heel in all of this.
He's the
yeah, he's the heel in all of this.
That's right. He's the heel, and he keeps getting over everybody. I'm like, I don't know if this how this works, but
yeah. Oof.
What a time to be alive. The homie Len God says Trick versus Oba is next. Winner take all. RIP NXT NA.
Why would you do that though?
Taking winner takes all and it don't got no TNA people involved in it. It's hilarious.
Okay, so Hip Jose is saying in chat the end goal is the TV deal.
For whom?
But my thing there is now the connection to WWE and the partnership might be enough to get them a new TV deal. But the TV deal should also come with Impact at the show being better in raising interest. I don't see where Impact at this moment is raising interest. Maybe I'm missing it. I don't see that though. It doesn't seem like more people are saying they're interested in watching Impact.
I saw nobody coming off Slamversary being like, I can't wait till Thursday. 0 people, not one person.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We got that.
I have a question for people in TV deals because they've been doing the same thing with ROH. TV deals aren't easy. They don't just happen because a wrestling company has a business, has anything. You can't just be like, nobody's going to just give TNA a fucking TV deal. Why have they been on Access for this long? Because nobody wants to. And them getting hoed out by NXT isn't the way to do it. Like, I can't think of them being like, in their brain, they feel like NXT is better than TNA. So why would they, in what world would getting them a TV deal make any sense?
It might be just some behind the scenes stuff happening with WWE to help them get a TV deal, but I don't understand like the storyline stuff right now. I don't see how that helps. Like, it'd be one thing if this was like you were bringing main roster level talent to TNA regularly to get people to watch TNA, but that's not what's happening here. It's you're trying to get people interested in the third brand, the developmental brand, to be interested enough to also tune in to TNA when a large part of your audience doesn't also watch NXT. Now, there are some hardcore WWE fans that watch everything WWE related, so they're watching TNA, but I just don't see the resurgence in TNA viewership. Now, it seems like the gate for that show was pretty good. But again, I'm just not seeing.
Those aren't new TNA fans.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I don't see those people sticking around.
No.
And I could be wrong. I don't I don't know. And TNA was in a really good place. It's crazy to think about when they changed from Impact back to TNA, and they had such positive buzz at one point, and then it was like a quick domino effect, and like all of a sudden Scott D'Amore was out, then Gale was out.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of this is I don't know. This is confusing. I don't know.
Then after this week, I'm like, I don't know what the direction of this company is. I don't know what the future of this. I don't know nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Jared was saying is the end goal a sale, and that's why I was like, maybe this is trying to make TNA as a brand profitable to WWE. Maybe it's to make it profitable outside of a certain circle. I don't know.
Could be, I guess, but like again, if I'm watching that, my interest is in NXT more than it is in TNA. But that could be the goal to sell this. I don't know. Don't know.
Yeah. We got
Oh yeah, it was classic TNA though.
We got more super chats.
That is, we don't have any. That's all of our super chats.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long week. Lot going on. Yeah, I almost forgot that this TNA show happened until I was looking at stuff and taking notes for today. I was like, oh, that's right, Slamversary did happen.
Weeks are so long, man, because again, that also feels like it was 500 years ago, and that was on Sunday.
It does. It feels like it was last week. Yeah, it feels like it was like 2 weeks ago. But yeah.
It's been too much of a long one, honestly.
Yeah, let me double check. I don't think we have any more Humper chats.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Let me get my plugs in tonight. I'm on my way right now, actually, to cross the bridge over to West Coast Pro. It's Cruel Summer tonight, San Francisco. If you want to be there live, you can still buy a ticket. Main event is Kevin Blackwood taking on Cedric Alexander in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the West Coast Pro Heavyweight Championship. The Cowboy Way, Thomas Shire, and one called Manders are taking on the Crush Boys, Titus Alexander and Starboy Charlie. Vinny Massaro is taking on Mad Dog Connolly. There's going to be a bunch of amazing wrestling. If you can make it out to San Francisco, definitely be there live. If not, it's going to be broadcast on High Spots. And if you're listening on High Spots, you get to listen to Righteous Reg's voice because I'm going to be on commentary again tonight. Very excited about it. Appreciate everybody for the support, and I hope you guys can tune in.
Yeah. Not just a Bananarama song, also a wrestling show.
Straight up.
That's putting Daniel LaRusso through it at the beginning of Friday Kids, man.
Every time he heard Cruel Summer, it was nothing but pain.
But yeah, appreciate you guys. We will be back next Saturday. Slammiversary. Sorry, not Slammiversary. SummerSlam. Biggest party of summer. Not that other show in New York. This show in New York. Biggest party of the summer. MetLife Stadium.
Not Slammiversary.
SummerSlam will be next week. 2-night event. We'll probably preview
Big
that
show
beforehand.
Is that an early show? That's a regular time show, yeah. It won't interfere with our pod, will it?
I think it's regular time.
Okay.
If it's not, we'll let you guys know.
Oh yeah, because they're in America, right? Cleveland. No, is it Cleveland or MetLife?
No, it's Cleveland. It's New York. I just said that. Not the other show in New York. In New York, MetLife Stadium.
Where's Cleveland at?
Cardi. You think Cardi going to Cleveland?
Why is Cleveland in my brain? Don't they have a 2-night show for Cleveland? Or they were supposed to have a 2-night show for Cleveland? Did it happen already? Was SummerSlam last year in Cleveland? Why is Cleveland in my head?
It was Detroit last year, right? Right? I don't remember. Anyway, anyway, I'm KI Double. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. Everybody, please be safe. Hug your loved ones. If we learned anything from this week, appreciate the good people in your life.
Yes.
Give people the flowers they deserve while they're still here. But But this has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Righteous Reg. We're out of here.